And we are back with another episode of Good Earners reviewing The Sopranos. And here on Good Earners, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. I'm not alone. Y'all know me as Maurice Hunter III, aka Mo, but I'm here with the two capos, man. Spike Lou, Spike Lizzle.
What up,
Big Rich
though?
Town. How you fellas doing, man? Gotta put the sauce on it, you know what I mean?
It was good with y'all brothers, man. Good to be here. It's I've been trying to I told Mo I was gonna wear a jacket every episode. I got the sweater on, man. It was a hell of a day after work.
Hey.
These niggas was almost binging it. But we worked it out. You know what I'm saying? We worked it out. We here for the episode. Yeah, y'all was almost in the back of the bing this week. Y'all was, but hey, man, I ain't got
man, in the clutch.
Yeah, but
Glad
I'm happy that
we
here.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. So I'm here. If it wasn't for Mo, man, and if it wasn't for the YouTube guidelines, I'd be smoking a joint on this bitch right now. But,
Oh, that's a guideline? Look at this guy. He's well versed and steady, boy.
Oh yeah, I don't think you can smoke on YouTube.
Oh man, just hey, turn his TV off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But nah, man.
Now you get a reaction on that now. You go everything
Right.
else. When you hear that, you're like, Yeah.
Did you like the album?
Oh, Drake?
Yeah.
No. I was with you the whole time, bro.
So I'm not crazy.
Nope.
That's true, right? Okay, guys.
That you were everything you said. I said, "Oh, I'm so mad."
AB was capping.
I'm so mad he's saying these things because I was like, I feel everything Spike's saying right now. I was so mad,
bro. That was a genuine question that I wasn't even trying to.
I know
put
you,
AB
when you said it,
I
was
genuinely,
like, bro,
I was listening to it like, who is this nigga talking to, bro?
I got it. That's why I said, bro, I'm gonna make an appearance once we finish Good Earners. I'm gonna make another appearance on there, and I know obviously Rick should probably be on there again too, but. I want to talk a little bit more, but I'm hoping something comes back. Maybe when his solo come out, maybe the time will line up and we can, have that conversation. But yeah, that I was no sir. Mm-mm.
Just say when.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so we're here, Good Earners, man. Y'all know what we're here to do. Talk about The Sopranos, man. We're getting close, man. It is getting crazy. Let me see, what number episode are we on right now? We are on
83.
83?
No, 82. 82. This is 82. Episode 82.
So that we got 4 left.
4 after this, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I said last week, man. We got 5. We got 5 bangers in a row, man. 5 made episodes in a row, and damn it, this episode's incredible.
Are the 5 bangers all conclusive to you, or that's just in your opinion? Do you think how far are you willing to go on that ledge?
What do you mean?
Do you think all 5 episodes
unanimous.
are made? Yeah, unanimous. You
100%. Like I would listen. I'm telling you right now, the episode is going to be extended at least 25 minutes if one of y'all say that the rest of these 5 episodes ain't made. Like I have to hear the reasoning and your why. Like it's got to be podcasting. Like you podcasting at that point. Like you trying to make content because there's no way niggas don't think these last 5 episodes are made. At home too. If you at home scoring, write in and let us know. Not our episode, but the actual episode of Sopranos. If you disagree with a maid on these last 5, I would love to hear your reasoning why. We're discussing on air. We'll even have a fucking back of the bing, maybe to have you on and talk about that silly shit because these episodes are incredible, man.
Yeah, I would love to have the listeners on, bro.
I think we can. There's an avenue for that. I think we can really do that, and I love because I want to. The thing about, and this is, I'm sorry, we'll get into the episode, but I want to say this because, we've been talking already about how this is going to live on, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be somebody that finds this 5 years from now. Like it's going to live on. So there's always opportunities to come back, discuss things. Culture Guard, one of the other podcasts that I'm a part of. That's why we started a 2.0 because in real life, you don't just talk about Sopranos, The Wire, Friday. You don't talk about these shits once and then that's it. I'm only going to talk about The Sopranos and Spike one time. How many times have we made Wire references? We ain't even got the Wire pod yet. So these pieces of art that live on forever, they're made to be discussed multiple times. So, and not just multiple times, but with multiple people and multiple viewpoints. There's so much I've learned and looked at differently just from doing this with you brothers for the past almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. And I've looked at television from a different way, something I've viewed plenty of times and thought I had it figured out. I'm like, oh shit, I never thought of it like that. So that's the joy of it. So I love to get some listeners involved and all that other stuff, man. It's a whole universe and world that we can build from this. But in the meantime, before we get to them, just happy to be here with y'all, man. Because I'm getting
my brother.
Just reflecting, man. We got 4 left after this, man. So I'm in my reflecting bag.
I ain't tripping.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm
I
good.
love this show keeps cracking our brain. Like that's what I love. It keeps cracking some spot in our brain and how we're receiving it when we're watching it. Unlike any time we're just watching it just to watch it back, it's just been cracking our brain, and I just really enjoy how it does that. It kind of bends things, and then like you tying into all the things we've said on there. I just love that. Was you gonna say something, Spike?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Y'all trying so hard. Y'all gotta
Nah,
relax.
nah, nah, nah,
Y'all
nah,
gotta
I didn't say
relax.
nothing.
Nah,
Y'all didn't say anything.
You try to like you're debating if you throw the flag out right now. Like you gotta relax.
I got my hand on the flag,
All
definitely.
right,
Just when you're throwing the challenge, you got your hand like in your
you
pocket.
definitely got the head right. Like
Yeah,
It-
the ref
it-
got
it
the
was
whistle. The
mainly
ref
the-
got
it
the
was-
whistle right there, ready to blow
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
tape.
he
But
was
it's like,
ready,
all
like-
right, man. You know what?
It was mainly because you doubled down on it. Like you didn't just let it go once. You just cracking my brain.
That's right.
Cracking my
The
Cracking
second one
my
I looked up
brain.
at Spike.
Are y'all
The second one.
y'all trying, bruh? I'm glad
You know
you
what
know
it is, though?
That is such a
Crazy.
reach.
But you know what it is though, Mo. 38 years of living, man. I ain't never heard nobody say cracking my brain in my
Ever.
life. So
Ever.
it's part
So,
it's part
because
of
you
what you
never
say,
heard
and part
it,
of I
it's
never
gotta
heard
be-
of it. Nah,
So-
it's just funny,
Yeah.
man. It's just everything about
Funny
it. It's
how?
just a Mo.
Funny how?
It's a Moism, man. It's a Moism, man.
I tell you this, I would definitely use that with a shorty that I was comfortable with. I would say that. That's why I laughed.
You saying like as like a line, like yo, crack my brain?
Not my brain, her brain.
Oh, I'm about to crack your brain. Give me
Yeah.
real quick. Give me a line. How does it work? Since you thought about that,
Like you just said it.
I'm gonna
I
crack
just
your
thought
brain.
about it when you said, "Yeah, I'm cracking." Can I crack?
Crack
Can
your
I crack your brain?
Can I crack it? All right, pause then. I guess now you put it that way. Pause. All right. If you can find a way to use it
Let a
in a
nigga
sentence,
come by and crack that brain, man.
crack that brain real quick. Your back broke.
See, there you go. You already got it. Let me crack that brain real quick.
that
That's it.
cranium.
Yeah,
All
that's,
right,
a,
man.
that's a definitely. I just left the club. I'm lit. Like,
Yeah, you definitely. That's like a line.
Send that
going
text
out.
message.
Yeah,
That text
it
right
don't-
there going out, bro.
Yeah,
About
that's
to come
definitely.
through and crack. About to
crack
come
that
through and crack your
brain real
brain.
quick.
That's a sloppy, like that's a sloppy drunk text right there. That's on.
Oh, yeah, you got some misspelled words in there.
Oh yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. You thinking I'm talking about a
Thanks.
great conversation? I'm not, but it still works.
Let me crack that brain.
only my guys here, man. Well, speaking of cracking brains, we got some of our listeners that have, obviously cracked our brain with some of their comments here. So, we got something from our last episode, Chasing It. Super fun episode. It's from Black Johnny 9570. Tony dead wrong for talking to Carmela like that, but damn it, was it entertaining. This is the beginning of Tony spiraling out for real. Tony is an ass, but even he has, and he didn't smoke Hesh, even though it would have been the cheapest move. He wouldn't look good as a boss.
Yeah, that's too far. Yeah, even though Bobby the one that said it, like that shit all cool until there's some shit that until Tony does to you, and then you start thinking about all the shit that he did on some. Hey man, and he smoked Hesh, man. Yeah, he been a scumbag. Let's get rid of That's how bosses get killed. When you start doing shit like that, that's how mutiny starts.
Yeah. If Ralph Cifaretto was liked more, they would have. There's a possibility that they could have plotted against Tony, because they were already having rumors about, man, he killed him over a freaking horse. Like when they start having those conversations, but Ralph, they didn't like him like that anyway. So that's the only reason I feel like they gave it a pass. Even the fact that he hit a made guy, but like Hesh, they would have definitely been like, okay, bro. Like, so yeah, that's a good comment, Black Johnny. And
that's his dad friend too.
Yeah.
Kill your pops friend.
Yeah, that's kind of out there. We got another email from our guy Ike. Subject line nerd bag. I'm listening to my email being read out, and it's reawakening my nerd bag. All right, so GRRM was influenced by the following: The Wars of Roses, amazing and intriguing bit of English history. I have some book recommendations on this if you ever want to dive into Philippa Gregory and Con Golden.
The GRRM is
George R.R. Martin.
George R.R. Martin.
Referring to?
Okay.
Yep.
Good call, y'all. The Accursed Kings by Maurice Druon. Dune by Frank Herbert, Lotr by Tolkien.
Token.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Okay. Uh, Tolkien is the godfather of fantasy. Frank Herbert is the godfather of sci-fi. To me, George is like their literary offspring. LOL. How Tolkien would do his world building is absolutely fantastic. Whereas Herbert and all of the political machination, prophecies, and the hero's journey, a theme you see copied in characters like Jon Snow, Harry Potter. Sorry, I know this isn't Sopranos related at all, but if you guys want to break from the screens, then this is a great side project. Now, unto the Sopranos and Tony. It's quite sad how his only real friend was Chris. Christopher Christopher had no problem telling Tony some of the hard truths or stuff he doesn't want to hear. Although that's his boss, you should be able to actually talk with your boss. They're not soldiers in the army, just taking orders. I have a lot of sympathy for Chris as we get an insight into his substance addiction and some family trauma that must influence his behavior. Anyway, stay blessed, guys. Ike.
Appreciate that, Ike.
Appreciate you, Ike. That's a great
Appreciate
point about
those
him being Tony's
recommendations.
son.
Yeah.
About them being
Appreciate
friends,
those.
mainly because there's nobody else Tony would have called for the route situation and other things. Like nobody. So you're
Nobody.
right. That was his guy. My bad, Spike. What you saying?
No, I was just saying appreciate the recommendations.
Yeah, man. I never watched Lord of the Rings or got into any of that. It just always seemed like something it wouldn't be for me. But I would love that. I wouldn't mind watching it and recording about it.
Do you ever think, like, 'cause this is what happens to me? I call it the Game of Thrones effect. Do you ever feel like because you watch Game of Thrones being like a period piece, you feel like it's worth giving all kind of things in that type of era?
That's why I tried because I watched Game of Thrones and enjoyed it. That's why I tried Lord of the Rings at first. I watched the first one and I was like, all right. I tried Star Wars. It's the reason I watched Dune. Yeah, Game of Thrones opened my eyes to that, what he's talking about in his email, like the world building and the way he told stories, and there's so many different facets of it. Well, Game of Thrones opened my eyes and made me enjoy it. Before that, it was Hunger Games. I
Okay.
really fucked with Hunger Games, like the little different sections that they was in and what all of them did and shit. I thought that was fly. So
Yeah.
world building is big, as I mentioned on this podcast before. That's really big for me. But yeah, Game of Thrones was the reason that I was open to any of that.
Yeah, I fuck with Harry Potter too.
Okay. What's the Blade Runner? Blade Runner was something that I watched Hunger Games and I watched Blade Runner. If that's the right, I believe that's the right movie. But Blade Runner, and then there's
It's a couple different Blade.
There's one, yeah, the newer, the latest one, and then there's one more of they got 3 different movies with the girl and they're trying to escape. It's like 3 different names that sound similar but different. I can't remember. But that kind of realm of like sci-fi, apocalyptic vibe. But Blade Runner, like to me, I end up liking that a little bit better than Hunger Games. It felt a little bit more fast paced, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah,
I don't know if I ever seen Blade Runner.
You'll like that. If you like Hunger Games, you absolutely like Blade Runner, especially when they start getting to like the second and the third, because they got to get out of there. They're trying to it's like it's got a Matrix vibe to it, like, oh, this is not real reality type. You know, you trying to, yeah, and one person smart enough to figure that out type deal. Like, yeah, you're beating that. That is one of them ones. I don't know if you ever get around to it because I know you're a busy guy, but if you do, that is definitely enjoyable movie.
Sure.
And our last one, as of this moment, y'all, if y'all email us after this episode comes out, to be read on the following. This is from our episode of season 6A, episode 9, The Ride. It comes from Camille Carroll 106. She said it's pronounced Zep-O-Lee.
All right, cool. Appreciate you.
That's what's
Thank
up.
you, Camille.
Thanks. Appreciate your thoughts. And that is our emails. If y'all want to reach out to us, goodearnerpod@gmail.com. Y'all can hit us up on Instagram, goodearnerpod _ the Sopranos. What are you gonna do? Spike Lou, what episode we reviewed today, bro?
little bit of context would help, Camille. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I'm keeping it
This
big.
is this is episode 17 of season 6, and it's titled "Walk Like a Man." So many different places that could apply in this episode. All right, man. Chris and Paulie, they running a new power tool racket with Chris's father-in-law. Tony trades some information that may help him out in the future. AJ, he's suffering from post-breakup depression. Chris hosts Sunday dinner at the crib for the first time, and the family comes over. Tony wonders why Chris ain't been around. And Paulie and Chris have words. This is season 6, episode 17, titled Walk Like a Man.
Would have been more than words if I was in this motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now. More than words.
Oh man. So we open up. Tony's asleep. He gets up, and AJ is still sad about the Blanca breakup. They try to tell AJ that it's better to love than to have not. Better to love and lost than have not loved at all. You fellas are like single guys. How do y'all feel about that?
Which part?
Is it better to be loved and lost than to have never loved at all? Or
my initial thought is, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Truth be told, like when I watch this, sure, whatever.
Okay, that ain't clear.
I mean,
enough.
it's cool. It's cool to experience love. Like it ain't end all be all. Like, I ain't gotta fall in love.
So for you, it's like it don't. It's not. Both y'all.
It happened great, man.
Hey man, I'm just trying to crack your brain.
You're just trying to crack your brain. I figured.
I'm out here brain cracking, bro.
I'm brain cracking. See, look how niggas do. Niggas will take one little phrase, and we will. That's how slang started. It's black people. I guarantee you, slang started with black people just all.
I ought to get that on a shirt. Brain cracking.
No, in a serious way, absolutely, man. That's one of those emotions that, you definitely want to experience once, right?
Yeah.
You have to experience that in a romantic way, if it's genuine, yeah. And to know you had something real, regardless if it works out, if it lasts forever, I definitely think that would be a loss. That would be a lost emotion not to have if you left the earth without it. But also, if I'm AJ, man, the fuck is y'all talking about, man? Shut up.
Talking to me.
That's true. I got a lot of things to say about AJ here, which ties into a lot of things we have spoke about through 5 seasons. Yeah, what's up?
No, I'll just say this. This might be the episode more than any episode. Not just of The Sopranos, but of anything. I'm not even talking about AJ right now.
Okay.
Because I think we all have the same feeling about AJ. I don't know if it was intentionally done. I 1,000% see everyone's perspective in every single scene. There's not one moment throughout this episode where I look at somebody and say, what the fuck? Like everybody makes sense based on their point of view in every single scene. Every disagreement, every beef, every argument, whether it's Paulie and Chris, whether it's Tony and Chris, all of it makes fucking sense. Yeah, and I just think it's masterful throughout the episode. Even AJ, I'm shooting bail for.
Yeah.
Like, and I sympathize with AJ the most. Like, more than any other episode, man. Yeah, I listen, but I get everybody else's point too. So it's a fascinating episode from that perspective. And like I said, I can't wait to get into it.
Good point.
Bro, the one thing when you say that, you hit it on the nose, and we're not there, but you make perfect sense because it just literally, as much as y'all know how much flack we give Carmela, which her character just meant to do that, you think about Carmela, and you think about her issue with Tony that morning when she's like doing the most, but you understand where she's coming from. But Tony speaks up, and you understand where he coming from. Like, bro,
all of it makes sense. Like, it's one of the few episodes where I'm like, nobody's wrong. Everybody get it.
Yeah, you're right.
I agree with certain people more, but I can if I sat down and tried to understand your point of view, I'm like, all right, that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah,
and it's a valid argument.
Boy, you killed that because that is perfect because that's exactly what it is.
When you start agreeing with people you never thought you'd agree with, that's when you start wondering, like, hold on, what's going on here?
Well, that's growth. You know what I mean? It's growth, maturation, you know. We go to the next scene, Chris, and it's I
want to say real quick about the last. What would hurt me the most, and I didn't grow up with a dad, so I'm just assuming this how it should be, is I'm not cool enough to AJ to get him out of this. Like, I can't just scoop him up. We take a day out, go to the mall, buy you some. I know this ain't gonna cure it, but take a day out, go to the mall, buy you some fly shit without Carmela knowing. We may go. I go get you some chicks, like whatever it is. But it would hurt me the most if I were Tony that I wasn't perceived as cool enough for him, like not to want to do this shit even in front of me. Like I want to be perceived as cool enough to where you're not slouching on the couch watching cartoons over some like over your girl. Like, come on, bro.
This is
So I think
this is
it speaks to him not being there. It speaks to Tony not being there a lot.
That's interesting because it's really another week in the books conversation.
Mm.
I'm very that response right there made me curious about your first love and your first heartbreak and how you reacted to that.
Bro,
Because
put that somewhere. Put it somewhere.
I will. I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
And I say that because AJ, at the age he is, dating an older woman, Mo, you're gonna have to, bruh, you're gonna have to edit. You're gonna have to edit Blanca's face over Foxy Brown's on the Ill Nah Nah cover.
That's funny.
I don't know what the fuck Blanca got, but AJ out of it, right?
Oh, you
now,
know
part
she
of it
got
is young, but you normally, as we learned this episode, he a couple weeks away or a couple months away from 21, right? Normally you go through this 15, 16, 17 high school shit. For him to be almost 21 and he's still reeling over this, like Blanca must be the truth. Straight
Oh,
up.
yeah, we
But
seen her.
you
We
can
seen her
definitely
in action.
tell, AJ never gave a fuck about nothing.
Yeah.
In 6 seasons.
Yep.
2 parts of one of them. 2 parts of 6. Right? He
So
never gave a fuck about
6,
nothing.
7
He
years.
gives a fuck. He cares about Blanca. That nigga bought a ring.
Yeah.
It made him want to be better.
Yep.
Like, so that's changing his entire life. Him dating Blanca, in my opinion, opened up a world that I don't even think he knew existed.
Yeah.
And that he had a taste of it. And now that it's gone, it's back to his shitty life and nothing's the same. Now, we won't, obviously, I'll talk about it more when we get there. Tony gave him good advice. I know it's going to feel like you ain't never going to love nobody else. That's kind of emotion, right? But the fact that AJ's experiencing all this for the first time, I don't think there's anything Tony could do. Listen, there's a scene where that nigga said, I don't want a blowjob. I don't know what state of mind I got to be in to say them words. You feel me?
It didn't register. He
fucked up.
See, Tony should have said, "Do you want your?"
Let me ask you,
when
in
you want
your
your
life
brain cracked? See, if Tony had said, "You want your brain,"
I was going to say, when in life has it ever not registered for you that do you want a blowjob? Like it's always registered.
no,
It's
it
never
ain't
asked
never.
to.
I'm gonna keep it. That ain't never a thing. Like I will take it.
Yeah. So I say all that to say AJ fucked up. I don't think Tony, but Tony does take that weight because that's how Tony. The way Spike just mentioned it, that's how Tony takes it.
Well, yeah, and
what the fuck is it about me? And what the fuck is it about me that Carlos' son cool, Patsy's son cool, and I got this motherfucker at the crib chilling?
Yeah, we gonna.
And they not even as cool as me. Y'all ain't even cool like me, and y'all got cool sons. How that happen? But we'll get to that when we talk.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So yeah, so we see we're at Chris's father-in-law's tool shop or whatever, and you know.
Say how my baby girl, nigga, she good. Just put it in her butt. Say some shit like that, nigga. Yeah, man, stop asking me shit like that. How my baby girl and shit, man. Damn, that's my wife. That's my wife, man.
How my wife doing?
Yeah, how my wife doing?
In front of my wife? Yeah, that's crazy.
That baby girl shit over, man. I do some nasty shit to your baby girl. Stop.
Your daughter's
my wife.
Freak. Oh man, you don't even want to know. You don't know the half of it. But look at my eyes, roll them. Chris collects his envelope, and his father-in-law tells him to tell Paulie to keep them coming. And this, obviously this is a rack from Remember When, the episode where Tony and Paulie set up that play for the Black and Decker tool set or whatever. So that's pretty much that. Just kind of getting that backdrop layout for what's to come. Then we get Chris and Paulie. They meet at the Bing, for the exchange of the envelope and everything. And interesting thing that we hear again. Before I get there, before I talk about the interesting thing, what did y'all take from this transaction? This is where they're building towards the big climactic scene later in the episode based on this. What did y'all gather from this Paulie and Chris transaction?
Paulie and Chris, or Paulie and his stepdad?
If you got something to add for the stepdad by any means.
Father-in-law. You knew father-in-law, excuse me. You knew this wasn't gonna end well. Like you know him shitting that close to where he sleeps. It wasn't going to end well, so it was a good setup for that. And it's interesting how Paulie digested this conversation because we seen what he did next as Christopher being weak. Like you sitting right here telling me this shit, like I can get over on you. Like it's crazy how gangsters think, but we talked about that throughout this series. This
Yeah.
is the whole thing with the Sporting Goods show. This is the whole thing with Artie, who we ain't seen in a long. Artie ain't coming back, is he?
One more.
He got one more appearance.
Oh damn, I just thought about that. But yeah, just
I
I
miss
see
Artie.
that weak. I see that weakness in you, and I'm going to exploit it because that's what I do.
Facts. 100%. Once again, we'll start the whole thing here. I've said it. See everybody's point of view, right? Paulie, here's the thing with Chris in this whole episode, right? They picking on Chris, but I understand why. I
You don't got
understand
no
everything you're
presence.
saying. Yeah, I
You have any
understand everything you're
presence.
saying, all that, man. But you ain't even around, bro. Like there is no part-time shit, man. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
In
We talked
person,
about this in another
this is an
episode.
in-person business.
We talked about this in
Yeah.
another episode. Like you have to be when this was happening with Christopher earlier. Like if your presence is not being felt, then people are gonna get over on you. That's the business that we in.
And when you are around, I don't want to be around you. Like
Yeah,
you a
like you
drag,
a
bro. You
moat.
bringing the mood down. Like everything, we gotta walk on eggshells just to be around you, bro. Why don't you try to fit in? Shout out to LeBron, man. Instead of trying to fit out, fit in. You know what I mean? Just try to fit in and do a little bit more, even if you gotta fake it, bro. Like Paulie's old school. Shout out to the another week in the books conversation. Me, Portia, and Spike had right. He a whole different generation. All this depressed shit, all this disease, come on, try to be
Yeah.
normal, bro. It don't work like that for me. Paulie don't understand that. I understand that. Don't get cunty. I'm breaking your balls. I'm fucking with you for real.
That's
Stop being
what we
sensitive.
do.
Chris is overly sensitive. Now
Oh
there's
yeah.
some things we'll talk about later in the episode that might
Hmm.
be all right, chill.
Yeah, yeah.
But for the most part, it's on some bruh. I'm trying to when I was drinking, I'm a disgrace. Now that I'm sober, I'm a drag. Like, what the fuck is it? But Paulie tried to extend the olive branch, right? Listen, man, my fault. I'm fucking with you. We just miss you. That's really Paulie saying we miss you, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I got prime rib on me, man. Nah, I gotta go. Now you being pissy with me. All right, man, fuck you, bro. Matter of fact, that's probably the moment when Paulie was like, you know what? Bet. Say less.
Yeah, I bet you gotta go. Exactly. Like, all right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And
Leave.
while you gone, I got some shit.
I got you.
Yeah, leave. I was working on something anyway.
Uh, one thing I thought was an interesting thing that we hear again that the cops come to the tool shop often, and Chris has one of them doing some work off duty at his crib. Of course, a prior episode when Chris was still involved with Juliana, he had talked about that he was talking to his sponsor at the time, and he was talking about, oh, that's the feds. It's like, oh, I'd entertain it, but I don't, whatever. And then even a previous episode before that, Chris is like, hey, I got too much going on. I got this and that, hey, and the feds is up my ass. So it's been this kind of low key, if you're following enough, this reoccurring thing, or the feds are getting closer inward with Chris. They're not showing it, but they're dropping these little nuggets. So him saying it here was interesting. Like, what are you doing letting a fed in your house do off-duty work to rebuild what, bruh?
Feds and the cops different.
Hmm?
The feds and the cops are different. Chris not worried about cops because I can pay you off. I can put you on my payroll. Feds, you don't have that same luxury.
Still.
So it still tracks what you're saying. I'm not disputing that because he has been mentioning the feds a lot in these last couple of episodes, which alludes to a larger conspiracy conversation
Oh yeah, absolutely.
about what happens. But in the sense of the cop, it's just these dudes don't look at like a wire reference. Like Prop Joe said, is it state police or is it city police? If it's state police, you got a problem. If it's city police, I got enough money to pay them off, bro. Y'all don't make enough to arrest me. I can pay your salary is 75,000 maybe. I give you $30,000, like you're taken care of. Like, so you can come to my house, you can build my basement. I may even overpay you just because I know you the police and you know who I am. But hey, like common police don't scare them.
Money talks, man. Like 50 said, man. Buck stabbing niggas on camera, it's okay. because my money make the lawyers make the shit go away. If you got bread, you can do whatever you want for real. Especially when it comes to police. Like, well, for the most part, when it comes to if you were in that business and they know you in that business, because they know what it does too. Like, bro, come up off that. You see where they at? You see what they buying? Like, bro, that's what we do. We got to afford a lifestyle, nigga. We rob drug dealers. We rob criminals. Like, that's how we make ours. That's how the world works.
Only other thing I wanted to say is like with him, obviously, Paulie says, you know, he tells him basically he wants him to have a drink, but he's drinking club soda to celebrate, and he said, "Don't jinx me." Obviously, tying into Paulie's superstition, who he is, being superstitious. But listen to me.
It is bad luck to toast with water.
I've heard different opinions on that. It's
I've
funny.
always
It's
said
interesting what you
bad
see.
luck.
When I Google, because I looked it up because of this, and some people are agreeing with the episode. Some people are like, nah, toast is just heartfelt words. I don't know.
Unless you're superstitious, I guess.
Yeah, and the only thing I wanted to say lastly on this scene is like, bro, if you ever tell me don't get cunty, hey, listen to me, nigga, I will find you.
I hear that a lot, though. I watch British shows. They say that shit a lot. Like those British. Are you being a cunty?
Yeah, you.
Mo, like, Paulie, you ain't British, my nigga.
Yeah, British, and I don't care if you British. Don't hit me with the getting cunty.
Don't get cunty.
That might as well. That's. I ain't gonna say it's up there with SMD, but like, listen, because that's not like a real emotion. Like, it's not really an attitude. That's not an attitude.
Cunty is an emotion. It is.
No. What is a cunt?
In this sense,
just in general,
it means you're being snarky. It means you're being like a smart aleck.
But like what is? Now, I'm not saying how you're defining it. What is cunt?
Oh, you saying he don't be pussy?
Okay.
I don't think that's how Paulie meant it though. Paulie was meant like don't be a smart aleck. Cunty in British language.
Saying
means,
don't be bitchy.
Okay.
Crabby.
Would bitchy bother you as much as cunty?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Because if you know me well enough, it's like, bro, I ain't never gonna go to that level. So if you try to establish me that way or try to like pin me to that in that way as far as corner of like defining me like, oh, you're being this, like, hold up, bro.
Especially when there's a million other words.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like he said snarky. Don't be
that.
A smart ass. Don't be a wise guy. Don't be a ball buster. Okay, cool. Don't get cunty. Like, hold up, bro. Like, that's not no, I'm just playing. Like, I ain't no
especially
just playing.
When you ain't never heard Paulie say that shit entire series.
Yeah, bro. Like, because you already like disrespected me for real. Like, yo, be normal. And then turn around like, all right, my bad, don't be cunty. Like, bro, if you don't stop disrespecting me, I'm gonna hit you over the head with this club soda, bro. Like, come on. Funny. But Tony's at Satrial's and he sees Agent Harris and his partner at Satrial's, and Tony wants to give him some info, but in exchange for something. And Agent Harris says that he can write him a 5K letter that could benefit Tony if he gets jammed up. Tony obliges. Is it smart or no?
Yeah, just want to have an invest. I don't know these dudes. Fuck them. It ain't really, to Tony's mind, it ain't snitching. Like, these are terrorists. I'm an American. That's how white people look at it. So yeah, like if this gonna be beneficial towards me, and I know y'all are watching me, like he's already stated that I know how this ends. So if this can play in my favor, then yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. Remember back in the day, they said snitching on niggas ain't snitching.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, for real, that was a thing. Like, I told on, Buckwheat over there, that ain't really snitching, because who gives a fuck about him? It's only about your own kind and the thing that you do. So yeah, I can 100% see that. It also can say streets is done. And it also really just goes to where Tony's mindset is. I need to start collecting these favors and these get out of jail free cards, because I feel that other foot.
I'm preparing for the end. I'm preparing for
the end, man. It's been coming for a while. Tony's been talking about since probably season 5, insulating himself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know something's coming. Like, I know, and we know that they've been building the case since season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe season 2, whenever we found out
season
about
2,
Ray.
they really locked in on like the,
Yeah, so it makes sense, man. It's funny. It's always interesting, and I think that's a big underlying theme of the show. It's always interesting what you say in the crowd and what you're gonna do when it's just you and that decision to be made. right? We always say, "Oh, that was me. If that was me, well, shit." When it's time for you to be you, are you gonna do that shit you was talking? Or are you gonna do the
Facts.
same shit that every other person did and look out for numero uno? I got a family, I got kids, nigga. I'm about to collect as much bargaining chips as I can. Fuck this code of honor. Don't talk to the fair shit. And like Spike said, fuck them niggas. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
them.
No, no.
And to him, Tony said, I ain't really say shit. I just said they was around and now they ain't. I don't know what else
Well,
happened. I
and
ain't
that
getting no information.
yeah, and
None of
that's
that.
what make it interesting because his partner tried to step in and he tried to like navigate this.
Relax.
Yeah, he was like, hold on,
Yeah,
hold on,
You're
hold
doing
on,
too
because
much.
the moment,
Relax.
because when you start doing that and you're asking him a certain way, he gonna feel a certain way as a mob boss. That's why he knew what's up. Was like, hold up, hold on, watch out, I got it. Like, hey, take it easy. So shout out to Agent Harris, but
Shout out Doug Stamper, man. One of the best
shout
fixtures
out
in the
to Stamper.
business.
Absolutely, man. Can't
um,
believe it. Never mind. I ain't gonna spoil it for y'all. Go ahead.
Mm,
Even though that shit came
mm.
out years ago.
you
I
talking
need to
about that?
rewatch that. That's a good rewatch right there.
Same.
I
I
need
was
to
just thinking,
rewatch that.
hey,
That might be
best
one.
episode
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, that might be one right there. House of Cards.
Oh yeah,
Eesh.
yeah. You spoke about that a few times. Yeah.
Man, that shit hit like all
It
due
made it
respect.
made it made
That shit hit like
Netflix what
crack in
it
the
is
'80s,
today.
man.
It
That shit hit
made
like crack in
Netflix
the
what it
'80s.
is today, bro.
Yep, that and Orange is the New Black. Them was the first two that rang
Facts.
out.
Facts.
Uh, that is weird. Anyway,
Kevin
sorry.
Spacey ain't shit though, but that's all right.
Nah.
Anyway, it's like, bro, why you got to do this? Because now it's like I'm trying to get invested in the character, but all these other factors.
Yeah, terrible human being, incredible actor.
Great actor. Great actor.
Hell of an actor.
Yeah. But yeah, and then Tony calls Chris to get the names of them, and then he keeps it real brief for Chris, and he shuts it off and gives them the names. Yeah, like I said, I agree with y'all. Like, this is a benefit. Like, there's not a ton of new opportunities coming Tony's way. Like, we got to really start to line up that this is in at the end, like we've been speaking to, like they've said from the pilot. A lot of opportunities not coming his way, so he has to start moving a certain way. And if I can gain something on the Fed side of it all, I need that. You know what I mean? This fact is like, and it don't affect me as a boss, so to speak. Like, I'm giving it one of my guys. Yeah, I got to do that. So, but we go to the next scene. AJ comes to Blanca's job, and a guy smiles at her, and she tells him, "You got to stop. You got to be stronger than that." And
That's real shit though. Like, you funny as hell.
Oh man, yeah, that ain't never going. They ain't going nowhere, bro. Like you got that need to be some shirts, bro.
You gotta be stronger than that, man. That's real.
Yeah, and so he starts hugging her as he's getting emotional and crying, and she's got that look on her face like you messing up my optics, like bruh. And Rich, I know you can relate. Spike too, but I think you can relate. You know the vibe where like you got some potentials, and like you got certain, like you're giving a hug, but you're like, yo, you're trying to be brief about it because if you hug a little too long, you might be messing up.
Might get the wrong idea.
They might get the wrong idea. That's the first thing I thought about when she was like doing it like, hey bro, get off me. Like I might be able to hook and sink somebody specifically that meets the need.
Doing too much, man. You got too much dip on your chip.
Boy.
Hey man. What Kendrick say in that Hillbilly song, man? Don't never tell me you rep me, girl. Don't never tell me you met me, girl. They gonna think that you rep me, girl. Like, come on, man, chill out, relax. We just friends.
Yeah. But is there anything I want to add to this scene with AJ and Blanca?
Rough spot, man. It's easy to look at the character of AJ just as a whole from what we've known him to be and what grow into. And damn, AJ, buck up. But like I said earlier, man, he's just going through it, man. He's doing everything he can to be close to that. Like, I was more so surprised that Blanca was just open and cool with spending time with him, especially on the job site. First,
he thought he was normal.
Don't come to my job. Who Blanca did?
Yeah, and that was gonna be my point after you got done. Like, she just we're now realizing that, or she's realizing, we've been knowing it forever as the viewers of this show. Like, AJ's not a normal person. Like, a normal person should be able to do this without running away crying. Like, yeah, you may feel a certain way about dealing with your ex who you still got feelings for, but I think this is her realizing, like, oh, you're not even, like, you cried when we was at the coffee shop. You crying, like, what? Like, bro, we friends now, bro. Like, just you got to get that through your head. And I thought that she still at this point thought that he was normal in this way. She understands, like, nah, something wrong with dude.
I made the right
And
decision.
yeah, I made the right
Yeah.
decision. And it's interesting how they're telling, like, Christopher is saying the things that apply to AJ.
Okay, I got a lot to say about the three
When
stories connected.
that is a good day. This is as Rich was saying, like, you understand everybody's perspective in this episode, but it's also great how the different stuff that other characters are saying about their life is applying to other people's lives.
Yep.
Like what Christopher is saying when he talking about, well, Tony don't look at this as, well, he don't look at it as a sickness and all of these things, and how Tony's looking at it, like that shit applies to AJ.
Yep.
This is a sickness that he has, bro.
Mhm.
So very, very interesting stuff.
It's the concept that I spoke about before, I believe, season 3, the fortunate son thing. When
Yep.
when Jackie Jr. was alive, how Jackie Jr., Christopher, and AJ was all connected. You know, that fortunate son connection.
I remember that.
So, but yeah, you know, my theory is, like, I think she gave him like the Blanca treatment that time. I don't think she ever got busy with him again, bro.
I can't. I do not believe that.
You think she
You don't
did
think who got
again?
busy
Like,
with-
You think he fucked her one time and he like this? Yeah, nah. AJ ain't that.
Oh no!
he ain't
Why
that
no? Whoa,
hard.
whoa, whoa! You think they was together and they weren't fucking? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Nah.
He ain't that tweaked out, bro.
Bro, he is.
Nah.
I can see that.
Even this, nah. He was.
This man.
That's
said,
why he was that.
He
That's
said,
why he was that messed up, though, bro. He was consistently getting
because
that.
that one time was all that one time.
That was a
Look, bro,
consistent
he didn't
thing.
want a BJ.
Exactly, but that's when he was consistently knocking that down, and he had never had anything like that in his life.
There's no way that was consistent.
Like I said earlier, he got a taste of that life. He thought he had no idea the life could be that way, and he got a taste of it, and that was gone. Like, nah, he was definitely hitting that.
That nigga not going to a Puerto Rican Day parade just hitting that one time, bro. Like, it's not happening, bro. That's consistent.
But this is AJ. That's the thing, though. It's AJ. He a simp already.
Nah.
Ain't that much
she
simp
put
in
that
the world,
wop on
man.
him.
Hey, I don't know. AJ is super, but
he's still a soprano, man.
But this is AJ. When has he ever showed he was smart?
Because look, this ain't his first time getting pussy though.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm like that one time with her, that first time that we seen, that probably was amazing to him, and she kept doing that thing that she does. That's why he was that hooked. But like, it ain't like that was his first time getting pussy, or
I know it wasn't his first. He definitely was the last chick. Yeah. It's funny, the last girlfriend that he had is in the show House of Lies. It's her name is Chris. Is it
on here?
Kristen Bell,
the rich chick.
Yeah, I think so. Like Kristen Bell, but she play on House of Lies. She's an on and off love interest of Don Cheadle on there. But hey, she's.
I know you're a married man, Mo, but think about it like this. You've had women in your life that you had one time, and then you had the ones that put it on you multiple times. The one-timers you ain't acting like that about. But the ones who like consistently, like, I can't believe she doing this. Like those,
it really only take
them
two
the
times.
ones that's hard to let
it
go.
Only take a second time to really like, oh, okay. It take a second time to be like, oh man.
It hurt to lose your girl, but it hurt to lose a good freak. That's the narrative. I like.
Exactly.
It hurt to lose your woman, but if you lose a freak, like you lose one of your like best eaters or something, like,
who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone?
Hurt, yeah.
When you know what she can do, like, y'all, I know what she doing to you, nigga.
Yeah. You got you in zombie mode for sure.
You got
That's
unfollow
what
and
that
everything.
is.
You got unfollow her, block her all the time. I can't even see
yeah,
nothing else you doing in life, man.
I don't even want to see you.
Yeah, I can't even.
Yeah, that's what that is right there, Mo. That ain't one.
Like,
that wasn't the one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's fair. I concede on that. You know, and But yeah, so that's
First,
kind of you
first
know,
off, I'm a motherfucking G, and I never let a bitch little bow wow me.
Wow, me.
crazy. Definitely got a little bow wow.
He
He
little
was like,
Bow Wow for
he was
sure.
really hugging like we're gonna work it out. Like he's coming to her job on some
Hey,
like,
talk about you know how down bad you gotta be to go in the studio every time I try to leave. Hey, come on, Bow Wow, chill, bro. He put that shit down on wax, bro. If I was his nigga, I said, man, get the fuck off from this shit, man.
Oh man,
Listen,
that's
you know this
funny.
shit gonna last forever. He shot a music video to it and everything, man.
yeah, it's crazy.
Oh well, man.
Yeah, but yeah, you
One
know, this
time,
is
hell nah, man. I ain't letting AJ go out like that.
yeah. I would say that this is a through line, but you know, when
She
AJ
was
kind of got
getting
to
that.
chalk it up that she's out of his league, and you know, he's crying all the time in front of her, and it confirms that at this point that he really needs to walk like a man. We go to our next scene. Tony at the bada bing. And it seemed like he's trying to set up a play with a dancer. This is just typical Tony behavior, of course. But Carmela calls Tony to
Cock
come.
blocking.
Yeah. But she calls Tony.
See, that's exactly what Spike said, right?
Well,
I'm about to get with this freak, man. Damn, my fucking wife calling, man. Shit. What you want? Here with the love of my life.
Right. I'm in the love of my life. I'm trying to crack a brain. Like,
Shout out James St. Patrick, man.
Yeah, man.
hey man, them ghost videos I sent y'all, bro. They're hilarious.
Nah, that shit's silly. Did y'all peep Georgie in the background?
What? Georgie?
Yeah.
Georgie's
like
back
9
at the bing?
minutes. Yeah, it's very subtle.
Hold on.
Go to like the 10-minute mark, 10-minute and 10-minute and 2-second, 3-second mark. That's Georgie in the background. Towel over the shoulder.
Let me see.
Why you looking at that, man? That's one of the best lines in TV history.
How is Georgie here, but he quit? Like what?
A nigga telling his wife.
I think that's them where he's saying, man, Georgie, come back, man. Let's make shit right.
A nigga telling his wife the love of my life died today, or whatever happened. That's
man, I just lost my life, man. And meant it. That's what makes the line work, because he meant that shit.
He was dead.
Bro,
telling your wife that you just lost the love of your life is nuts.
Like the person you made vows with and everything. Like
yeah, got kids with, got a family
with tears in his eyes. With tears.
He told her about. He's like told her like, you know, stop this foolishness. It's like you're a drug dealer. He called his wife a drug dealer, bro.
Yeah, man.
Knowing that he went.
Hey man, y'all got it. If y'all ain't watched, go watch Power, man.
Yeah, man.
The black people that's listening.
Very
one of the unintentionally funny characters ever,
too.
Very entertaining. Like you want good entertainment, like no deep
this
talk.
Nigga went jogging with his side.
Bro, man, he crazy. He crazy, but he's still one of the best, man. One of the best anti-heroes, man.
Oh shit, boy.
Especially
that Ghost was some motherfucker, man.
Yeah, man.
Hilarious, bro. He up there.
Yeah, he is.
Facts.
So then Tony, after getting the call from Carmela, Tony talks to AJ. And what do y'all think about the advice that Tony gave him? I really want to see what y'all think. I know y'all are not parents at this present moment, but I would really be interested to see what do y'all think.
The part about being white?
All of it, bro. Because I got some things I want to say about that, but I'm gonna throw the ball in your court for a moment.
So that was pretty interesting the way Tony started it, right? He started in typical, I grew up in the 60s fashion, 70s, whenever it was that Tony grew up. I don't know when he was born at this time. I guess 60, he grew up in the 70s, born in the 60s. But he started in that mode, man, get up, man. Stop this shit. We ain't about to be doing this moping around shit, but there's also that sympathy that he has, as Chris mentioned. Spike, you did a great job of saying, there's multiple times throughout this episode where people are saying things, but they're talking about somebody else. Right, he can understand, since he's in therapy, of what he's going through. He has a better understanding that shit's coming through. We see it in the Melfi scene. All this shit he doing right now, he get that shit from me.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I feel bad about it. So he snapped out of it and gave a little bit more sympathy and kind of told him, man, listen, I understand. That's what you expect the dad to say, especially when you consider this is Tony's first time having this conversation ever in his life with his son. Right, he don't know what to say. He figuring it out on the fly. He just using this experience. Like, look, man, I know you hurting. A woman breaking your heart is a different type of hurt. You know what I mean? If you were a certain type of man, or any man in general, I don't even want to say certain type, man. If you really love a woman and you feel like she plays you, it's going to be a different type of thing. He's just trying to be honest with him as possible. Everybody gets the blues. This isn't just you. In the most Tony Soprano way, he gave sympathy, support. Like I said, offered to buy him that nigga neck dinner. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Don't be
trying to
so
get through
loud.
it. He handled
Don't be
it
so
much
loud.
better. Yeah, he handled it. Yeah, man, chill out, relax. Keep that under wraps.
I'm your
We
brother. I'm
talking.
your brother.
We men. We men. We talking here. Don't be so loud.
Yeah, there's another moment though in this episode that I think is even better than this
I think
from
this is a
Tony.
great. This is a great parenting moment by Tony, man. We don't get to see a lot of these in this series,
Yeah.
but this is genuine. This is, as Rich was saying when he was talking, little beknownst to you, I felt this way before.
Mm-hmm.
It may not seem like it, but this happens. This is a part of growing up, one, and two, to the genes thing. Like, this is a trait of ours. I don't want to pour all this heavy baggage on you and tell you this and give you a way out so you can think that feeling like this is normal. But I do and am processing it in my brain that this is something that we go through as a family. You having my genes. He did the best job that he could in articulating this to AJ. And if it was anybody but AJ, I think it would have registered more. What needs to happen though, and what Tony dropped the ball when I was talking about here, and I was talking about on the other scene where they were talking about this, it's just there's a lack of effort. Like, these are just words. These are words that make you feel better. But if this were another show and AJ were another character, he would be spending the day with Tony. Like,
Yeah.
now I see where you are. I see how low you are. Let me bring you into this world. Just like my man's was saying later, and this is not to step on it, but his boy getting into the sports book betting and things of that nature. Like, those people opened up this world that they have access to their kids, and Tony doesn't do that, which is why AJ is so lame. Like, he has no access to the power that his dad. He's completely oblivious to it. And one, probably because Tony believes that he can't handle it, which probably is true. And two, Tony just isn't present enough to be able to do that. Like, you can't just have a cool son, bro. Like, you have to mold that. It ain't just gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen because I'm Tony Soprano and my son's gonna be cool. So the area of opportunity here for Tony was like, man, hop in, bro. We finna go for a ride. We ain't listening to Carmela. We ain't doing none of the sad shit. What type of music you want to listen to? Hop in. We finna go to the mall. I'm finna get you fly again, and we finna do some shit where, like, if you moping and shit after this, then we need to talk about something else. But I'm finna expose you to some shit that you ain't seen. Tony has the ability to do that, and he doesn't.
You know, this probably mirrors Tony at this age, as a youth.
Yeah, man. Remember
That too.
back in the day, Tony was quick. I know it wasn't because of depression, but Tony was quick to take AJ on the boat.
Yeah, like I
Like,
think
come on,
I
man,
think
pull up, man.
Tony is as far as why Tony ain't doing, like, stopping, dropping everything. You know, I think that it's been such. Tony has. I mean, we've spoke about it at length about AJ and how there's nothing clear and concrete about AJ, and that's a lot of it could play a part into, like, us just being black. It's unfamiliar as far as, like, why are you acting like that, and you ain't really getting some act right. You know, we just don't understand, that level of patience from parents, maybe. But at this point in time, it's like this could have been. We don't know, and y'all know I can't stand Livia, but this could have been how Livia felt about Tony. It's like, for all these years, bro, I didn't understand you. You wasn't into anything. You wasn't passionate about nothing. You never stayed in anything. When you started something, you quit. You was in football. You never had the makings of a varsity athlete. You went to Seton Hall or whatever, and you quit that. Who knows? Like, he could. Parents have they butt heads the most with their child that is mostly just like them, and that tends to be what happens. And I feel like AJ, in some regard, Tony, he said, I'm a miserable prick. I've said it since day one. So there's that. And then Tony, another interesting thing, he says you're handsome, you're a hard worker, and he says, let's be honest, you're white. This is a very interesting thing when he said that, because I don't think we've ever heard Tony embrace being white. Like, and even him saying, even him saying it was weird. Like, because watching this and podcasting about it and being immersed in this version of Italian culture, I didn't think about how they would just be passed off as white generally. Like, because we got the Boca episode where, you know, obviously we know what goes on the A line, but the B line is Tony with the Wonder Bread Wops and Cusimano. And before watching the show, I just kind of lumped white people all in the same whatever. You could be Irish, you're still white. You could be Italian, you're still white. You could be Greek, whatever it is, you're still white. But watching this show made me say, oh no, just because they look alike, they're not the same. Everybody come from somewhere else. So when Tony said it, I mean, obviously speaks to the end thing. He's like leaning into what could be successful for his son as well as them. But it just blew my mind when he said, I was like, damn, he says you're white. And it just, I mean, even though Robert Eiler is white, he's not Italian, but still, it was like, damn. I don't know. It just blew my mind in a sense. I don't know what I'm trying to get across quite, but it caught me.
Yeah, I get it. I never thought about it like that until you just said it. Because it's been Italian this, Italian that, and now it's like, all right, we also have this going for us. We can use it to our side. It's the Martin Sheen effect, right? Nigga, last name is Estevez, not Sheen. He can pass off as a white man though, right? That's a full Spanish man. So we Italian, but we are able to walk that line. And I think he's saying, man, use whatever advantages are given to you in this world. So yes, we are Italian, but I think he looked at it from the broader sense, like as in the grand scheme of things, from the way that people, because all Tony cares about, obviously he cares about AJ, right? I don't want to get that lost, but one of the big things you see throughout this episode, how are people viewing my son? Mm-hmm. To Spike's point, do I have a cool son, man? Is it just me that views him like this, or do other people view it like, damn? Because he takes it personally, right? That's Tony Soprano's son. What the fuck was you doing to AJ like this? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like naming it Weebay, right? That's Weebay kid. There's certain expectations that you have, or not even that you have, that other people have when they hear your name, right? That means your seed must be this. You know what I mean? Think about how many people, and I'm not trying to be funny. You know what? Not even going there. Fuck it.
He's about to start cooking, boy.
No.
How much of that do you think was because Blanca is not white?
Like, what do you mean? Like, let's be honest, you're white. You know, you got stuff working. What part do you mean when you say that?
I think he leans into the you're white statement versus your Italian statement because, yeah, I'd love for you to be dating a beautiful Italian girl who has the same background and upbringing as us. But you so far over the line dating Blanca, like she don't even got to be Italian. She just need to be white. I just want you to understand, like, that should be your focus, not going to date a person of color. But you need to be dating somebody that at least, if they not like us, if they not like us, shout out to Kendrick.
Hey, take it easy. You got about one more time. I'm about to start reeling off the Drake quotes. I'll let you get it off twice.
Right. So I think he's saying that in the sense of, like, bro, come home. Like, come home. It ain't even got to be all the way home. It ain't even got to be in the neighborhood. It ain't even got to be in the neighborhood, bro. But at least come over here and buy houses on the same street that we on. Don't go all the way over there to their side of town and start investing in real estate.
Nah, I feel that, man. That's a great point. Never thought about that.
Playing away games.
And listen, man, stop playing fucking away games. Straight up. That's exactly what that means. And listen, man, I get it. Concerned mom. Don't do that shit, man. Get your ass away from the door.
The way Carmelo busted in there, bro. Come on.
Nasty.
Yeah, man. Stop it, man.
Yeah, like,
now you breaking trust. Now you breaking trust.
Nasty.
It's crazy that she couldn't help busting in there like that.
This is not your territory. Like, this is
get lost.
This is one of those things.
But once again,
you understood where she was coming from?
I get it.
Okay.
That's what you expect,
that is
Carmelo.
true. That's a mom.
I get it. So I'm not mad. As much as I would dog her shit on some, like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, man? I told your ass to wait outside. Why are you even standing by the door? I'm gonna come and tell you everything we talked about. Why you eavesdropping? That's her baby.
As men, we look at it. Even the way she busted up in the room, like when she found out that he knew that she was out there, and the way that she opened the door, it irritated my soul.
Bro.
But like what Rich said, like, I get it though. That's a mom. A mom would do that.
But the thing is, she's right as far as a mom, but the thing about it is, it's like we're not at the, you know, I mean, he does say a line. AJ says a kind of a foreshadowing line where he says, "What's the point?" And he doesn't define what he means when he says it, which is a foreshadowing line. And I'll get a little bit more into that. But like right now, we're just dealing with heartbreak. A young man dealing with heartbreak. It's like this is where mom's got to fall back, because if this is Meadow, like
That's her bad.
yeah, because Tony was like trying, like she was coming to Tony like, and Finn was this, and Tony didn't know what to say. And he was like, see, that's why you need to talk to your mom, like, because he didn't know what he was doing. You know what I mean? That's out of my terror because I don't know the range of emotions. I'm not a woman, so I can't. So her just doing is like getting like, oh, you need to get up. Like, hold up, bro. Like, let me do. That's the communication. And Carmela's still doing the thing that Tony had a problem with at the end of season 5 on Whitecaps. It's all you do is nag and bitch and bitch and bitch. Like that was Tony's issue, and it's still an issue. You know what I mean? But now it's like, you know, he paid his money to get back in.
But even with this,
even with this, I feel like that's just go ahead, Spike.
I was gonna say, even with this and the nag and the bitch, yeah, you're right. That's just.
You're right.
Y'all both. You ain't got. I ain't even to say it. Y'all do exactly what I was about to say.
They can't help it. Mm-hmm. Like this is it's something like this. Why we're different. But with that being,
wild for
that. they can't. They even when they try. We've been in the Mo. You married. Like I've been in a long term relationship. They cannot help it. Yep. Like there's just something in their brain where it's like. Us as men looking at
like, bro, we're good. Bro, why are you going there right now? What the fuck is up?
God damn.
How did you get there?
Yeah, so that's what Tony and AJ are dealing with in this scenario. But you brought up a good point, Mo, when you say like when it's Meadow, like that's your bag. You go cook over there. Let me do what I do over here as a dad. Don't come barging in the fucking room, man. Like give us like let him breathe. Even you calling me and being like, I need you to come home. Like I feel like this was a
yeah, man, I'm about to get some pussy, man. What you want?
One that too, Rich, but also
get my
like
brain cracked, man.
Yeah, don't try to flex on me. Oh, I got to meet the realtor and this and that. You have to be here. Like that nigga, 20 years old, bro. He okay. This is before we know about anything else that happens in the future. He 20. Like what are you talking about? Like us as men, we don't process that shit the same way that women do. So like you calling me, like all of that's nagging, all of that's you being extra, you being a Karen. I understand that you're concerned about our son, but to my knowledge, our son ain't never tried to do nothing to himself. Like, bro, he just needs some days. He needs some time. Yeah, I may need to talk to him, but I don't got to come talk to him right now. I ain't got to stop everything that I'm doing to come do this shit. So yeah, that and then her barging in the room like that was just the exclamation point to that whole thing of I said, like, you just doing too much, bro. Yeah, like you adding fuel to the fire. He see you acting like this, now he doing more of the sappy ass emo shit, nigga. Go listen to some Drake. Get your ass in gear, bro.
You can come through and get your bag, bro. Now we go to the get your brain cracked. That's gonna be that's the episode right there. It's called Crack Brains.
Brain cracked.
Man, that's funny. But so we get Christopher and Kelly and they're hosting a barbecue. Man, I listen. What do we rank Chris's house in the houses? Real quick.
Oh, it's up there.
Is this better than the Soprano house?
Nah.
I don't know that, bro. That kitchen.
He ain't
I don't know if y'all got to pull it up. That kitchen, bro. He
ain't got that walk in though. Like he ain't got that corridor in the front though. Like just let you know, like nigga, this a big dog house. Like his shit go straight. His shit go straight to the living room. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. They got this down. They got this down the street. Like this one right here. Like,
but this is like new age though to me. I don't know. It's like new. Because
remember, the walk in, the walk in with the. I'm overlooking if I want to. That is a different flex. The
corridor is different. But this having a corridor is different, bro.
He got the stones for the fireplace joint, like.
Bro, as soon as I walk in, I'm in the living room.
Look at the backyard too, man. Look at all the house, man. You ain't got that. Tony got his own shit. He got ducks.
Yeah.
That part.
As soon as I walk in, I'm in your living room, bro.
But come on,
Tony got the film. Tony got the film room. Like,
the guest house turned into. But still, the curb appeal on Chris' crib though. The curb
it's definitely
nice.
It's up there.
It ain't Tony crib, but it's a nice crib.
No, the curb, I think he got Tony on the curb appeal. I would
Hey,
say that.
well, the property value going down later on this episode, so it don't really matter.
facts.
Well, we got Saxials on the job. I mean, we got what's his name?
Phil
Sal
Vitro.
Vitro.
Salvitra on the job, so it's all good. But fair enough. But so okay, so just so I'm clear,
And his neighbors all close. Tony
Yeah,
neighbors not
that's the
close.
biggest thing.
that's true. Okay,
Yeah,
I got
No
some-
privacy
right
fence,
there.
no nothing.
So
man. You still got some work.
y'all
to do
still
over
got
here,
Johnny
young.
Sack as number one.
I
Yeah.
think so, man. Johnny Sack crazy.
Yeah, so you got Johnny Sack's house is number one. You got the Soprano house is
Tony.
number two.
You
Yeah.
know
I
what
remember
we
we
should do?
talked about little Carmine's, like little boat crib or whatever. Like
We know what we're gonna do. We know what we're gonna do one day. Matter of fact, write this down too. We're gonna build the perfect Soprano house.
You got to fit in Vito house too, up on the coast.
Yeah.
that
black
joint
shit,
was
that was
fire,
nice.
bro. That was
we gonna
big view.
we gonna build the perfect Soprano. What elements would you take? Whose living room would you take? Whose backyard would you take? You know what I
Facts.
mean? Like
people gonna have
front
to really
yard, all
watch
that.
6 seasons just to try to get it all.
To understand
and, and mention white caps, you know what I mean? Like, do we consider, you know what I mean? Like,
In the
white
words of
caps,
Franklin Saint, that's the job.
That's the job.
You're right. Niggas gonna have to watch 6 seasons just to get the whole depiction. Nah, but okay, I like that, Rich. Great idea. But we are at Christopher and Kelly's, and they're hosting a barbecue. Look like they're hosting a dinner, and I'm happy. This is Chris is grilling. He looks over, he sees Tony and Bobby conversating and everything. He asks him, you good? And Tony pretty much like waves him off. And Chris is annoyed. They're both doing this being annoyed at each other thing because neither one of them is like bending to
It's
each
what
other's
happens
will.
when you're not around your people. Nah, they ain't even bending to your will. You're just not around. Like niggas is having different conversations that you don't understand because you haven't been around. Like we get money. Like, bro, we talking about getting money. You've been in AA meetings.
Chris
Like,
gets
all
money.
that. I ain't saying you don't, but you don't get money with us. There's a difference between getting money and getting
That's
money
true.
with the
You
crew.
get money with Cleaver.
Yeah, you get money dolo over there by yourself. I see the nice house. I see the crib. I understand you coming up, and I respect that, my guy. But we do a thing over here, and you're a part of this thing. And you trying to do these little check-ins and flybys. Like, nah, bro, that shit don't work. Like, this ain't
And-
even just mafia attack. Like, any street shit that you doing. Like, you have to be present. And you trying to do that fake present shit. They tell you good. Like, bro, I'm a real gangster, bro. I see right through that shit.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was. I say that to say I don't think it was him like brushing him off. It's just like we on different pages right now, bro.
Yeah. And from Chris's point of view, Chris is Eddie Kane, Bobby is Flash. How's it feel to be me? Every time I see y'all, every time I
Give him
see
the
Tony,
reference.
you talking to
Tell
Bobby.
him what
Y'all
that's
having
from.
5 Heartbeats, man. Shout out to anybody if y'all ain't seen the 5 Heartbeats, man. Please check that out. Please, like classic. But Chris is now noticing, to Spike's point, since I haven't been around, Bobby's taking that spot now.
Yeah.
The conversations I used to be with Tony ducked off at the barbecue, right? Or be at the grill talking to him. Now they have it, and it's not an inviting conversation, right? Y'all in the distance. I can't hear what y'all saying. As soon as I try to make sure y'all good, y'all brush me off. Fuck y'all talking about, man? Am I out? So you got the nerve to feel upset that you out without addressing and acknowledging the fact that you put yourself out over time.
Mm-hmm. And to the credit of Bobby and Tony, they realized it. We still active. We still getting down. We know how this shit goes. Like they realized how they came off. So now we finna approach you and not add you into the conversation that we were having, but make you feel included because you've been excluded. We letting you know that it ain't us. Like that way you feeling right now, how you feel like we just like tuned you out. It ain't us, it's you, my nigga. Because we gonna walk over here and have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And this whole thing's really gonna shine later in the episode.
Facts.
Absolutely. I gotta say this. I gotta be honest. This is one of my favorite Christopher Moltisanti moments in the whole series.
Cause he on the
Him
grill.
at the grill, him and Tony at the grill.
Because this is where a student becomes master, at least how it was projected to be before everything transpires later in the episode. This is Christopher's arc. I think that's why I like this moment the most. This is the arc that he asked Paulie about. Where's my arc? This is the arc. because obviously after this, just in this episode, not even spoiling anything, but after this moment, everything from that point goes downhill. So
You bring up.
yeah.
Were you done? I ain't mean to
Oh,
cut you
okay.
off.
So this is Christopher's arc. So real quick, so this is one of my favorite moments of Christopher Moltisanti's story altogether because he's grilling and Tony's doing the things that he does, just kind of like breaking his balls, kind of bringing them down a little bit. And he says, you out of all people should understand the human condition. And Tony says, why should I? He says, because you're in therapy. And that was like, it left him like kind of speechless. And I think it affected a decision that Tony was trying to make later, because he was like, it's almost one of those things like, oh, I forgot you knew that. You know what I mean? Like, I forgot I told you that. And so him doing that, like, he's like, oh, the great Dickie Moltisanti. Like, Chris had so much clarity right here.
Great observation, Mo. I agree with some of the stuff that you're saying, but some of the stuff you're saying I want to address as well. I don't think Tony is oblivious to what you're saying. This is Christopher's art. This is him, like you having the Sunday dinner at your house. You the person on the grill. Like, we know in black community, you the nigga on the grill. You the king of the jungle.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm that dude today. Like, I'm the one that got the ribs and stuff cooking.
I'm the captain now.
However, the way that we can tell that Tony notices that he is gaining in his whatever it may be, he trying to instruct him on how to cook it.
Yeah.
Oh, flip the ribs. Oh, that steak is done. Like, Tony can't give it away. And this is such great storytelling by Vince Chase and the writers of the show, because it's 100% what you said. This is a coming of age moment for Chris. This is when we see Chris actually grow up. David Chase, excuse me. We see Chris actually grow up, start to understand, start to process some of the things that Tony has understood, even when he's speaking to therapy.
Yep.
Like, Tony didn't get. We know how Tony's using therapy. He's using it to be more manipulative. Chris sees that. Chris points out, like, the reason that you're in therapy, I get it now because I'm in AA. I'm getting the same type of help. I didn't know how that shit was relevant to the life that we live. And Tony starts to notice these things slowly but surely, and he starts to feel threatened by it. And again, we can tell by the conversation that he has, and of course, some of the things that happen moving forward. But this was a big conversation for Chris. I do agree with you, Mo. This was the most clear that he's been in the whole series. But I do think Tony knew, and he felt threatened by it. And a very small, what they call microaggressions now in today's society, was him telling him how to cook the food.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still the boss, nigga.
Yeah.
All this shit that you realizing, all this shit, like, I know you got the crib, I know you got the wife, and you finna get married. Life is good right now. You got the movie.
Yeah.
I'm still the boss.
Settle
and
down.
I'm gonna tell that, I'm gonna assert my dominance by telling you, hey, flip the steak.
Yeah.
Nah, nigga, I'm on the grill now.
Yeah, let me try that beer. Let me
great scene.
Let me try.
Yeah,
let me try your.
Let me try that bullshit beer you drink with no alcohol. Cause you figure, like, Tony really looking at him, I think, in this scene, like what you saying, Mo, like, you've figured it out. Like, you figured out how to be what we are without the end goal being death or jail. You got a movie script. You're doing other things. Like, you got the shit going on with your father-in-law or whatever it is. Like, you have slick figured it out, but I still want you to know that I'm the king of the jungle. Great scene.
Incredible. Both of you, incredible commentary. And if, just in case anybody out there didn't understand what Tony was in therapy for, there's a perfect example of it in this scene, right? Tony takes something that he knows is serious, right? He understands what Chris is going through. He knows it's a serious thing. He trivializes it, right? He makes it about himself. I want eggplant. I can eat eggplant. Bruh, you know good and damn well you eating eggplant and my substance abuse addiction is not the same thing.
Right.
If you gave a fuck, there's no way you would tell me that, because you know better. Why are you trying to compare it and try to flip it and just make anything to seem like, hey, if I'm strong enough to do it, you should be too? When we're talking about apples and oranges, apples are fucking bananas, bruh. Like, stop it. And that just lets you know Tony is trying to use all that shit just to control Chris. Just like y'all said. It's incredible, man.
Yeah, no, it is. It's there's a deleted scene whenever Spike get on, but there's a deleted scene where Chris and Kelly are hosting something with kind of like, so to speak, Wonder Bread Wipes.
Oh, when Tony don't get the invite or something, right?
Yeah. So that is
I think he pops up.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That is I'm still mad that they didn't put it in, because put that scene in here, because it's really an essential.
Do you think it would have been too heavy-handed? I thought it was perfect. I knew exactly what scene you were talking about. I thought it would have been perfect.
I think not as long as it ain't in this episode. This episode would have been heavy-handed. They did it next episode, like right before everything that transpires. I think it could have been cool. But in this episode, it'd have been heavy-handed. But
okay.
Which episode is the deleted scene from?
I think
it would have been between this one and the next one.
So
I'm gonna find it on YouTube and send it to you.
Hey, if you find it, throw it in the chat, because I want to make sure Spike sees this. But I think that intentionality, like we talked about Vito, there was a deleted scene. Vito made a call to Tony right before he came back. There's a deleted scene with Big P right before he flipped. There's these certain ones that really matter. It's still canon, I feel like. So I think that's a part of it. But like Spike, excellent point. Like all of the, like Tony's still trying to, do this, but because the thing is, Tony kind of spoke to his own demise, so to speak, at this present moment, because he said you're going to take us to the 21st century. You know what I mean? Yep. Like because Chris was going to be that dude. I just
threw that in the chat.
Okay, thank you. See, I'm getting off this. This is why people had such a high belief in Christopher. Those, like, I was definitely one of those, like, the belief, because it's this scene. This scene makes it all feel worth it. Until obviously we get to the end of the episode and it's different. But it's this scene. And it's so, for all those do theories, all of YouTube, this is Chris's arc, y'all. Like, I just want to put that out there. Like, oh, Chris doesn't have arc. No, he has arc. This is it.
Yeah, this the high point of Christopher's character, 100%. I agree with you. This is his arc. This ain't a drug, like hiding it from people, Christopher. This ain't a alcoholic, Christopher. This is like, nigga, I got my shit together, bro.
Yeah, I got a movie.
I'm John Gotti right now.
Yeah, I got a movie. I'm married.
Like, I'm the superstar of the mob. I just don't want to hang with y'all niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Which is part of the reason why I'm able to be so successful. That's the gift and the curse of it. Like, I the only way that I'm able to be this successful and where I am, have my shit going right with my wife, child on the way, like just completely clear visioned and able to articulate myself over this grill like he was to Tony, is because I'm not hanging with y'all niggas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my shit.
He's seeing stuff so clear now.
Because I don't have that influence from these losers, per se, quote unquote.
Hov, this is, all due respect, not calling Dame a loser, but this is Hov getting away from Dame.
Facts.
Like, in order for me to be my best version of myself, man, I got to get away from this shit. I can't do this. I can't do it no more. No love lost. I fuck with you, my dog, but I can't. And I know me going away, even though the love is there, I know you have no choice but to look at it like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. And it ain't that, but it's gonna end up being that just because.
Because I want more.
This one.
I want more, bro.
This is for Spike Lee. I had to let go of us to show myself what I can do.
I don't even know what that is.
Nah, that's your favorite. That's your favorite album for the boy. That's your favorite album for the boy. You can't.
I never heard
you're
of
on the record. You're on the record.
The Views joint.
Got your ass. That's that feel away. Like, yeah, that's this moment right here though. It's like I had to let go of us to show myself what I could do. And I think when Tony was in the hospital, that was the first glimpse.
That's such a bar too.
It is though. It's so a bar. Oh man, like I said, this nigga.
Because most people can't do that.
They can't. That's why I said, bro, I don't know who was around when he wrote that or who wrote it, but Nick, like,
yeah, even applying it to this.
Yeah.
Like most people can't do what Christopher is doing in order to be more successful.
I'm
gonna stick to the norm. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to the norms. What's been working for me to get me to this point. This is where but Chris was like, nah, fuck that. I want more. Life don't mean shit to me. I need to figure out where I need to be for life to mean shit to me. And nobody could accept that.
Yeah. And Chris, and we'll move on, but Chris, I wish he would have been, Chris would have been all right if he stayed connected with Lil Carmine. because Lil Carmine is more on that
Who?
side
I
of
mean,
it.
who's to say Lil Carmine was gonna fuck with him though?
Well,
It's
they
Jersey.
they
That's
did the movie
glorified
together.
crew.
They did the movie together.
I mean, I
I mean,
used you.
yeah, I mean, he
Y'all are
used him,
glorified.
but
I feel
like
like Lil
if
Carmine thinks Chris is beneath him.
he probably does, but not in like something like arrogant. Like
He
I don't.
remembers when he used to wait in the car.
Yeah, like Lil Carmine not dealing with
But he ain't.
that.
But
That ain't nobody. You, in a sense, I understand what you're saying, Mo. It would have been smart for Christopher to attach his wagon to Lil Carmine. That would have been smart, but I don't think Lil Carmine was open to that.
Lil Carmine's not a boss though. So
He still, but
he's
come
really
on,
a
bro. My
capo. He's
last,
really a.
nah, but my last name, bro.
I
You know what
mean,
I'm
Chris'
saying?
last
Like
name, his
I
last
ain't
name
finna.
though.
AJ still
Yeah, but
AJ.
it ain't
AJ still a
mine.
soprano.
But
Regardless
it
of what you
ain't
want to say about AJ,
mine
he's still a
yet.
soprano.
Dickie Montesanti though, like that
My
matters.
dad was the boss of one of the 5 major families of a New York crime syndicate. I ain't fucking with. Yeah, if we can make money together on this movie, that's cool. But me and you ain't finna be
But
friends,
Dickie
my nigga. I'm
Montesanti
sorry.
wasn't he the boss?
Nah, Dickie was
Dickie was just a mover and a shaker. He made shit happen, but I don't
Dickie
think he
was
was a
like
boss.
Chris, for all respects given.
I guess I don't
Because
remember who
Tony
was the
Dad
boss.
and Junior, because you remember Tony Dad and we're gonna
But
do
they
the
were
review.
but
when we get
they
done.
wasn't the bosses either though.
But Tony Dad and Junior were above Dickie, which is how you got the whole ending of that movie.
Yeah, right. Okay, that'd be something worth revisiting. I know we really in the deep in the Soprano lore.
Yeah. For people to
I
fuck
know
with, they love
people
this.
appreciate that. So we get little Paulie and his mans. They taking power tools from the father-in-law. He pulls up with the strap, pretty much trying to check in. He's like, "Oh, he didn't tell you." You know, they just doing the whole finesse thing, and you know, it ends up going over or whatever, and that's kind of the end of that.
Shout out to Lil Paulie, man, with the gift of gab getting up out of this.
Oh no, that later
Straight
scene,
up.
he killed it with the later
Lil
scene.
Paulie a beast, man.
Yeah, nah,
Did he? Did he really?
What, the later scene?
You don't think
Nah, he
This
killed. That
scene
nigga
is-
was 95 years old.
Who you talking about? The dad?
I'm talking about the later scene.
Oh,
Okay. All right, but still,
You know, I'm not saying he did kill it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away,
Okay,
Mo. He
he is
did kill it.
95,
Like, he
though.
did kill
He
it.
is 95,
But that
yeah.
was a little bit. If he really wanted to, he had to do none of that shit. I'd have walk straight back there. I'm leaving with this shit. I gotta explain myself because you ain't gonna catch me before you even know what happened, nigga. You blink once.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll put it this way: these few scenes. It's not a ton that happens, so I'm just gonna kind of tie those few together. So we got, like I said, the little Paulie and his man's, getting the power tools after hours. AJ at the pizza spot, and he sees a couple and decides to quit as the manager.
Nigga walked
Patsy,
out crying, bro.
He said, I quit. I
To
said,
the
why'd you
manager.
do that? Nigga said, why'd you do that?
hey, listen, that's the day, bro.
When did he switch jobs? Did they tell us this on screen?
From Blockbuster?
Nah, from the construction site.
The construction was just like a little. I think when Tony presented it to him, it was only a summer gig.
Did he do
I don't think it was
construction
meant to
after
be
the
something long
Blockbuster?
term. Yeah,
He did
definitely.
Blockbuster construction, and
He got
now
fired,
he got
remember?
the pizza.
'Cause he was
I
selling
didn't realize he had gotten to the pizza place. Like I don't know how that happened.
That was like low.
We didn't see that happen on screen.
Yeah, no, we didn't. That was low key. But then we got Patsy brings Tony an envelope and starts.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry, just real quick. Remember, the only time we really heard it. Remember when AJ wanted to start his own club or get into business? Remember what Tony's advice was?
Promotion.
You need to learn how to do it. Work at Beansies.
Okay.
So you can learn a business like a
spot.
Yeah, he was like a pizza spot. Yeah, if you look at his apron, that's Beansy's pizza spot. So that's the one time we mentioned. So I love, even if it was very subtle. Shout out to the great callback and writing from the Sopranos.
Good. I'll take it.
Making that happen.
I'll take that. I'm glad you brought that up. But Patsy brings an envelope to Tony and starts, kind of bigging up his son and being in college and knowing a lot about computers. And then also Tony is talking to Patsy and Carlo Jr. and has them to invite AJ to a frat party that they're hosting at the Bing. Anything I want to add between those scenes of AJ quitting, Patsy talking about his son, Tony talking to Patsy and Carlo's son?
Yeah. Either you want to be the boss and have the life that Tony lives, or you can be at home with your kids and have normal kids. That's the trade-off. If I'm gonna be who Tony is, you get an AJ. If I'm gonna be Patsy or who else kid was that in there?
Carlo.
Carlo.
If I'm gonna be Patsy or Carlo, and I kind of coasted this, I do enough that I need to do to be a gangster, but I'm able to give advice and guide my son in the right way. That's what you get. So it's which one do you want?
Mm.
I think that was a great way of showing that in this
That's
episode.
that's dope.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope. Absolutely.
And then Tony, kind of like you said earlier about how my son's reputation looks versus and how it makes me look, kind of really saving face with AJ. Like, oh, he probably got some stuff to do, but I'm sure he'll pick up. Like, just really like being an advocate, kind of like to get him.
Even Spike, man, that was such a great point, man. Because I'm even thinking about this. Even for them to be coming in the Bing with they pops.
Exactly. AJ ain't never been in the Bing.
And I don't even put that on AJ. I put some of that on Tony
It's
too.
on Tony.
It's like
That
Carlo and Patsy
exactly,
were
bro.
honest with their kids about who they are, what they do. They did
Facts.
normal. Yeah, I got a different type of job, but we can still do normal shit. It's not weird for my of age son to be at the Bing with me. I'm handling business. He looking at titties. Right. It
And
is. I
that
can never
goes
see
to
AJ just walking into the Bing with Tony.
my point in the beginning when like you have to like AJ don't think Tony cool because he don't know what Tony do. And that's on Tony. That ain't on AJ.
Yeah.
Like there was a path out of the situation that Tony was in had he been more, excuse me, that AJ was in, had he been more real with AJ and growing up. And he talked about this as far as I coddled him, I babied him, Carmela, this and that and the third. So I ain't blaming it all on Tony. Some of it is on Carmela as far as the reign that she let Tony have and the freedom that she let Tony have with him. But also Tony was treated like that. We saw it
Yeah.
in the flashback
Yep.
episodes where the dad took Janice to the fucking whatchamacallit versus taking Tony. And Tony feeling left out and having to ride in the trunk. So this is a generational thing for the Soprano family. They always try to hide that shit from each other, and that's what makes them so dysfunctional. But then you get and such great writing, which is why this show is so good.
Yeah.
You get these other like just a glimpse of their kids, and like we're not this dysfunctional because we don't hide the shit like y'all do. Y'all trying to hide it, which is ruining your family.
Great point.
Great points.
Jackie Jr. might still be alive if he wasn't trying to hide it.
That's real
Facts.
shit, man.
Facts.
That's the
Shout
whole
out
reason.
to go ahead.
No, that's the whole reason he died. If Tony would have embraced him and walked him through some stuff, he wouldn't have made those mistakes of robbing the executive game. Instead of him leaning to Ralph Cifaretto, because Ralph Cifaretto was the only one being a real nigga. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So. You were just saying something, Rich, but
I was gonna say we talked about Power earlier. Shout out to Carlos' son. Dude to play Carlos' son, he's in Power as well.
So it is.
Bro, he looked familiar like a mug, bro.
Yeah, he is
was in Power. He was one of them niggas on Ghost Ass Pause.
Oh, okay. 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 So then after that, let's get way up. We get Chris versus Paulie. Chris pulls up and he is heated about what happened with Paulie and his partner pretty much, took the power drills or whatever, and his father-in-law is upset. He's he's going into some real civilian problems about, what's going on. I used to always feel where Chris was coming from in this scene until now.
Let's
Bro,
talk about it.
The first time I ever felt different. I said, bro. Well, the later scene ties back into this, but I'll just put the line out there. You are in the mafia, right? So why? And then another scene. Why be in the crew? Why be a gangster? The mighty quote from yours truly, Christopher Moltisanti. And that's why now I understood a little bit more where Paulie was coming from. I thought he was nonchalant, inconsiderate, but watching it this time, it's like, bro, I feel like he's thinking like, bro, what's the problem? We do this stuff all the time. Like, bro, I told you I told you I'd take care of him. Relax. You know what I mean? Like,
great point, Mo. Like, I agree with you in the sense of I remember watching this in real time, doing rewatches with this, and 100% feeling Christopher. Now that we're doing a podcast about it and having to talk through it, I'm on Paulie's side. Like, bro, don't
This is
come
what
to
we
my
do.
house. I've been traveling. Don't come to my house bitching about your father. You should have never got this nigga involved if he didn't want to be a part. Like, this is what we do. Quit coming over here playing with me. And it keeps going back to the point that they're making about Christopher not being around. You're not familiar with how shit, you acting like you're not familiar with how shit works. Like, why are you over here bitching at me about this, nigga? Like we gonna take care of it. That's what we do. So yeah, I agree with you 100%, Mo. This is one of those things where on most of my rewatches, I was with Christopher. Like, why would Paulie be so petty and do this and try to send him over there and know he was getting over on Chris? But now that I'm rewatching it now and having to talk about it with you guys on this platform, it's like, nigga, what did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah. He's like, what's your
Yes,
problem,
I'm
bro?
gonna get over on him, dude. Fuck him. And it goes to my point about it. Don't shit where you eat. Like, if you ain't want this to happen to him, you shouldn't have never got him involved in this shit. But eventually, you knew he was gonna get shucked. That's it.
And
That's just what we do.
Hey, listen. I never forget watching an interview with Daniel Kaluuya, and he was telling this story. And one of the points is nobody asked a person who got robbed why they got robbed. Right? Robbers rob. That's what they do. Nigga, we gangsters. This is what the fuck we do.
Yeah.
And you want to, hey, if you really want to piss me off, stop talking about shit that don't matter. I don't give a fuck about his acid reflux. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. All that shit you
I
telling me
don't
right
care
now,
about him
you
calling
came
your
to my,
wife.
you banging on my door for this shit? Nigga, it's my fault your father-in-law's a crybaby? Get the fuck out my house, man. You get the money when you suck it out my ass, man. Get the fuck out of here.
I used to think that was such an inappropriate
Oh, I
response
did.
to that, but now
I
that I'm
did.
watching, I'm like, yeah, bro, like what the fuck you think this
And-
is?
and-
Who
Out
you
of the
think?
loop.
Who do you think you talking to,
You
bro?
out of the loop, bro.
And I told you I'll take care of him. I wasn't bullshitting.
Yeah, he said that. Like, what's your problem? Like,
I'm stupid now.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
bro,
motherfucker, you are.
Yeah, you got this dude involved, and he a loose end, and that's on you. That's not on me. I don't give a fuck about what you have to deal with and his reactions to what I'm doing as a gangster. That's on you because that's your dude. I don't care about none of that if I'm Paulie.
yeah, Paulie was there to get the whole setup to get the transaction set up with
I don't
Tony.
give a fuck. Yeah, fuck dude. I don't give a fuck.
I remember Boomerang.
Ma,
and I remember that scene when what the fuck is David Alan Grier's character name? I can't think of it right now. When he found out that Angela and Marcus was fucking around, remember they was playing pool and that nigga said, so you wouldn't care about Angela? And that nigga got into it, he left, and that nigga Tyler, Martin Lawrence's character, came over and said, hey man, what happened? That nigga Marcus looked at that nigga and said, guess. One of the coldest lines in history. Guess. That means, nigga, you know what type of nigga.
You know what happened.
Right?
You know who I am, bro.
You know what happened,
I'm
bro.
an assassin. I'm an assassin, bro.
If she around me too long, I'm taking her down. I'm sniping her shit down. You knew what was gonna happen, bro.
I don't even know why this is a conversation.
So why the fuck would you bring somebody that friend zoned you around me and be surprised when I fuck her, bro? Why the fuck would you bring this square ass father-in-law of yours with these power tool business,
bro,
and be surprised when we rob this nigga blind? You see how easy it was? That nigga had to strap on us, so we talked that nigga. Little Paulie talked this nigga down, and he had the tool raised. This nigga's a mark,
bro. And he literally put the one in the chamber, like pulled the joint back and everything, like that's crazy.
Which even more so shows me that you not about that life.
Nah,
you ain't cocking no gun and pointing it at no nigga without shooting. You
It's
know
best,
what comes with that if you're a real nigga. Like ain't no, I'm not cocking the gun, and we ain't going through all
they
those
didn't whack
motions,
him
bro.
on Chris' behalf.
Oh yeah, they beat his ass,
bro. Look, that's a great point. You're lucky you're still alive.
For real.
More less than me stealing these tools from you and you expecting payment and your acid reflux. Fuck all that, bro. You lucky you not dead. You could have pulled up to that alley when we was doing this here, and I could have just popped you, and that would have been what happened. So yeah.
Nah,
you see what happened to the waiter?
Yeah, stupid.
Knock niggas for less. That nigga ain't even pull a gun out on us.
Yeah, dummy. Like, bro, don't ever come out the building asking for like, man. Anyway,
and who the fuck is for real? I'm thinking about the father-in-law. Like, bruh, If your civilian ass don't call the cops, you showing up with your gun,
Bro.
man, you really could have got whacked out here.
Bro, we looking out for you and you coming up pulling up because, man, if you don't.
Yeah, man, you ain't about that life.
Yeah, you gonna shoot me knowing you got off-duty cops coming in here getting tools all the time. Man, nigga, if you don't get up out my face, like, come on, bro. But yeah, Paulie pretty much puts him out. Chris pulls up on Tony at the Bing to discuss Paulie, and Bobby says, well, what happened? Bro. The look on Chris' face is up there with Bobby's face on Soprano home movies. We talked about that Bobby face where he looked at Tony. I said Chris' face when Bobby said, like, what's happening?
That goes back to what I said earlier, remember? How does it feel to be me? Because you're so close to this. When somebody comes in with an issue, usually everybody's quiet. We'll leave the room. I need the floor. Bobby's so comfortable, he's speaking up before Tony even saying it. What happened? I'm not even talking to you, bruh.
Bro.
I used to be in that seat to where I could be like, yo, what happened, man?
Bro.
You know what I mean? What's going on here? You so out the loop that you don't even know what the fuck is going on. We don't even respect with your urgency because now you urgent when some shit happened to you. We've been trying to get you around forever. Now you want to huff and puff and come in with your, that's cold ass tracksuit. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
you come in here and cause a fit.
They're like a feeler, low
Fila tracksuit. It's Fila.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna say it look like it.
This is another perfect scene where I understand Chris. Obviously, man, y'all violating, man. That's my peoples. That's my wife's dad. Y'all stealing from him. Y'all doing all this. But also, bro, first of all, you ain't been the fuck around. B, this is what we do. And C, we talking about multi-million-dollar deals, and you talking about some power tools. And D, Tony told him, wait, I'll talk to you when they're ready. He sent him to the kitty table. Bro, you ain't want to wait. You left. We could have handled it had you just stayed here, but you wanted to leave and do all your other bullshit, bro. Now that you ain't first in line no more. You ain't first in the queue. You fourth in the pecking order. Your problems don't concern me because you ain't the fuck around. Sit your ass outside. I'll come get you when we ready. You ain't want to wait. All right, fuck it.
Yeah,
I love it. Rich is 100% on the nose.
Yeah,
we're not like again, bro. We'll keep continuing to hammer home this point, like, bro. This is like we're real gangsters, bro. All this bullshit that you coming in here, you crying about, you want these things to happen. This is my father. Like, I don't give a fuck about that being your father-in-law, bro. This is your first priority. And when you come in here and you act like, or excuse me, you haven't been around and you act like it's not your first priority, and you want to come in here and put you as the first priority, it's never going to happen. It ain't the world that you live in. And it was brilliant that Bobby spoke up. It was brilliant, like we ain't seen you, nigga, in how long? Yeah, like me and Tony, cool. We rock like that right now. I can ask you this, nigga. Like, you may not be aware of it, but this is how it goes. So,
I'm gonna speak more to that. To what y'all saying, I'm gonna speak more to that Chris dynamic when we get to the JT Dolan scene. How Chris is too civilian for mob and he's too mob for civilian. But we'll get there.
Okay.
That's the overlining. Yeah, we'll get there. So we'll try to move this thing along here. It's a little late. Meadow. Let me see. Yeah. So one interesting thing, though. One more thing on that is that he's like, it's not about the money. So then Tony's like, oh, okay, so it's about the drills, like just really making you see the perspective, like, bro, then what are we on? But anyway, Meadow comes and talks to their parents about AJ and what he may be thinking, and all of the warning signs are there. Tony comes downstairs in the middle of the night, and sits with AJ. And then, of course, we're going to the Tony.
I just want to say real quick, I referenced that earlier. I just want to shout it out. Even more than the talk that he had with AJ, I love this moment because sometimes ain't nothing to be said. I just want to. I'm here, bro.
Yep. I love it.
I'm here.
I love it. I love that moment. And then Meadow too, like, you know, shout out to Meadow for all of the like messiness she could be at times. I like that she just came and just was on some like, hey, look, bro ain't good. I just want to let y'all know, just in case y'all ain't seeing it. And
I've seen this before. I went to school with somebody that was talking this shit, and then she threw herself out the balcony. I take this shit seriously.
Yeah. Threw yourself off the balcony, man. Then we're at the Tony and Melfi session. So I got a few things I want to say about it, but I'll let Spike. You got some things you want to say about this session between the
two? You start.
Okay. Well, a few things. First off, the legs are back. Am I the only one that noticed this?
Yes.
This scene so deep, I ain't even pay attention to it, legs. Real shit.
Yes,
so I'm about to look at it now.
Are.
Hey man, y'all just gonna pull it up, man. Just gonna pull
it
up
right now because the last thing I thought about was her legs.
Do yourself a favor, man. You know. But anyway, I'm serious, man. I gotta pull it up. When you see,
I see it, man.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Just don't leave me out here like I'm crazy though. Like
no, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong, man. You just funny.
But it is deeper than that. No doubt. That ain't the whole focus. But that was just like an immediate because I was set up. I was like, oh, okay. We still in this thing. But Tony says that he's done with therapy because it's a jerk off. But I personally believe it's because of what Chris said, you know, with Tony.
It is.
Because it kind of like Tony realized he's being a hypocrite. And so if I'm not doing therapy, I could keep trying to manipulate and bend the truth on you're just weak. You're not being normal, you know. And then Tony voicing some real frustration that he felt as a father. You know, Tony, you know, feeling like his genes, you know, the putrid Soprano gene and the way of depression has rotted his son's soul. Bro, these are real thoughts as a parent. There's a song Big Crit has on his album he put out a few years ago. Let me pull it up here. I don't know.
Crazy.
I thought
Why you pulling it up? It's crazy. I ran into Big Crit the other day, Tuesday.
What?
This is like in passing.
Oh, you just seen him okay.
Yeah, I was by iHeart Media's studio down here in Atlanta, and I just ran into him in passing.
Oh man, you just said something to him, man.
Yeah, he looked like he had something to do.
Oh, okay, I feel you. Like I ain't about to be that, but I was like, hey, you just hit him with the hey, Crit was here, hey, fire.
That's your superpower, Mo, not mine. I'm working on it.
That's so easy. Like, hey, Crit. Hey, that Crit.
He looked like he had something to do, bro.
Hey,
I don't like niggas approaching me when I got something to do. So he looked like, but I definitely, he was walking in the hour. I was walking
It's
by.
5 seconds, bro. It's 5 seconds.
It's fair.
But you're right though, like you said, I would probably. But the song, y'all got to check this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send it in the chat. I know Spike, you ain't been as big on Crit, you know, as of his later work, but I think y'all can appreciate this because he's not a father, but he talks about his concerns of if he becomes a father. It's called Generation / Weighed Down. He talks about the traits that are in him. Mm-hmm. Like, what if he passes it down? You know, and he's really getting into like the things that he feels, and he's not saying everything, but I think that y'all being, you know, maybe you will be parents, maybe you won't, but it's something I feel like I can relate to. And you think about like, what if I pass it down? And I am actually a parent, so I see things, and I'm like, man, I hope that he don't deal with this. I hope that she don't deal with this. Like, there's certain things in me that on my part, I'm like, oh, I hope they don't, you know. So I'm gonna send it to you, but I tied that all together to say that, you know, that's Tony's concern. You know, is this darkness that's in him is now like it's rotting his son's soul. What do y'all want to add to this scene? There's a few other things I got, but I want to see what y'all think.
I don't know if I can really resonate the same way you can.
Okay, well, I
think everything that you say is real because you have that parent aspect of it. I feel it.
That's
and fair. I understand Tony, and obviously the acting is incredible, and just the real, take the acting out of it and imagine Tony Soprano as a real human being. You see that real emotion that's raw. That's like, man, damn. And I'm partially responsible for my kid being fucked up. We've been teasing it the whole episode. Everybody else's kids is normal. Like, why did this happen? What the fuck is going on? But I couldn't even imagine what it's like to carry that weight. I've always said it before, man. Being a parent, man, you never know what you're gonna get. Yeah. So you gotta be ready to, you know, cope with it. So I think you're touching on it perfectly.
I felt this 100%. I think that he's not even being a parent. But speaking from some of the things that I fear from having, like some of the stuff that he's talking about here, is the reason that I wouldn't want to have children.
I understand.
I don't want to pass on, like, I know me on a personal level from a day-to-day basis, and I wouldn't want to a child that I'm trying to raise to have that type of personality. Not saying that that's right or wrong, or like not even going into another week in the books part of it, but just speaking in the form of the Sopranos, they did such a really good job of capturing this. Like, even if you're a parent, if you're not a parent, I think these are fears that we all have as adults. We talked about it. Y'all go check it out, another week in the books, on the millennial episode. Like, why do I feel this way? And more so, even in this sense, I feel this way. And now I'm seeing that shit come out in my son. How is this happening? And I'm sitting here talking to you, thinking that you're supposed to be the answer, and this shit don't help nothing. I still got to deal with this shit. This was one of the best scenes from Tony and Melfi and just their whole situation. And Tony really realizing, like, bro, I am fucked up. Not even in the sense of being a gangster or being a sociopath, but in the sense of I'm depressed. And I passed that on to my son, and now my son is dealing with that, and he's not as strong as I am. And I know he can't handle it. I know he not gonna make it to 40, 50, whatever Tony is, if he's dealing with what I was feeling.
Yeah.
And you ain't helping me with that, Melfi. You only talking me through bullshit about my mom or whatever it may be. Like, this is a wonderful scene, one of my favorite scenes of The Sopranos.
Not to mention also just the point of, I can wear this. He can't.
He can't.
Well,
And you ain't doing anything to help me with that.
That ties back to a previous. I wanted to speak to it before, but I bring it up here when Tony says, like, you know, when he bailed AJ out of jail, and he told him, like, bro, you're a nice guy. There's no malice in your heart. You're an approachable dude. That's what he's trying to tell him. Like, you're not like that. You're not.
There's a black version. Nah, there's a black version. There's a video. It's like it's just one of the Twitter videos where this little kid telling this dude, like, you a sweet nigga. You a ladies man. Like, calling the nigga a ladies man is hilarious.
Calling a nigga sweet
man.
nigga.
You ain't tough, nigga. You a ladies man. Shut up. Like, get your ass in the back seat.
Yeah, bro. Like,
crazy how we as black men take that as disrespectful. You a nice guy.
Yeah,
like, you don't want nobody to tell you you're a nice guy.
Well, because you
as
know,
black,
it makes us feel like we can't defend ourselves.
I think any other race of people can take that as a compliment, but us as black men, with somebody, oh, you're a nice guy, you be like, what the fuck you mean by that?
Nice guy is the equivalent of funny how.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
funny how to us, y'all.
I don't want nobody calling me a nice guy.
Yep, that's exactly.
I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm a nice guy. I know that, but I still don't don't even acknowledge, don't even acknowledge that shit to me. Like, you think that I'm sweet.
That's got to be further in the list. That can't be like up at the first things to mention when speaking to you or me. Like that. Oh, he's nice. I'm saying, like, I'm with you. Like,
I don't want you. Yeah, that ain't.
It's got to
that
be
can't
so
be the
far
first.
down. Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
that need to be. Yeah,
that got to be.
He's
like,
a nice guy.
He's nice, and he's a nice guy. That's got to be the and. He's a nice guy.
I would love for people to respond to this in email on what they think about that, because
y'all building y'all episode right now.
We are, but in this episode, as black men, I think is because we have such a diverse audience listening to this, and we're talking about The Sopranos. I'd love to hear what people think about how we like telling me I'm a nice guy. That's damn near an insult.
I won't go far as insult for me.
I don't give a fuck if you think I'm a nice guy, bro. Like, fuck, like what?
You know what's worse to me though? You know what I really don't like outside a nice guy? Good person. When I hear that, I'm like, okay, all right.
That's somebody that don't know you though. I'm not saying that you're not a good person, but
because I just don't look at anybody. I really don't look at anybody as a good person.
What does that even mean?
I think decent at best. Like, that's how I look at people.
Yeah, what does you're a good person even mean?
You know what I mean? It's just you have this facade. Anyway, that's another week.
Yeah, that's another conversation.
I'll go all the way to the rabbit hole of that. But
yeah, one of the things here being said, like, being told you're a nice guy is not always a compliment. I'll say that.
Yeah, but so Tony tells AJ that like in the previous episode
And
when he
it's not
bailed
a
him out,
compliment.
and he
That's
just
not a
said,
compliment when he told him that.
yeah, and well, I think it's different. It's not
It's
because
not
that's
a
not.
compliment.
Nah,
Even in AJ's
it's not
world.
a compliment, but
Like
it's not shade. He's backing up his point in that episode when he bailed AJ out of jail to go back and say it's not in your nature. Remember he said that like
but
when he was talking to him, like it's not in your
facts.
nature
True.
because you were trying to whack Uncle Junior for his attempt to murder on me. So I think he says not part of your nature. You're a nice guy. So you're right. It wasn't a compliment. It was just to further fuel his point of it's not in your nature.
It's almost like you don't respect me. You telling me I'm a nice guy is almost disrespectful. Like you don't respect if I wasn't a nice guy, what this would turn into based off some of the things that you said, or some of the things that we may get into. You saying, "Oh, you're a nice guy," like you're underestimating me. That's how I would take it.
I mean, of course, we know how we would like. We got a whole but our plight is different. A couple more things. We'll move on, but I do understand a bit of what AJ is feeling. I think the words that Livia actually said are haunting AJ on the low, where she says because she said she was the one told him it's all a big nothing, and she says that you're not special, and in the end, you die in your own arms. And I feel like that's like we don't get it. Obviously, we don't see like some like voiceover work, but I always feel like that's a part of like AJ's thinking. And also, Tony asked a great question after all the crying and complaining in therapy. When it's all said and done, is this it? Profound line. Profound. And I'll leave it there. But like that was just to ask that, it's like, bro, that's how everything feels like. When I make it as a podcaster, this or that, like I do all of this. Is this it? I know I was referencing Drake, but like literally he has a song called Is There More? And it's like literally you play with all these questions. If I do this, is there more? And it's like sometimes there's nothing else. This is it. But anyway, but then again, another AWRTB. But Tony and AJ are in the theater room, and which was formerly the guest house. And I don't know if y'all know. I think you probably noticed this. Well, actually, I think I skipped something. Sorry. Chris is in the AA meeting, and he voices how Tony is an enabler. And I just thought it was interesting because I never looked at AA as therapy for Chris, but it kind of is. Anything you want to add to that, Rich?
Yeah. Even if not therapy, it's just a venting session. I think therapy might be a little bit more advanced because you are getting some tools to help with whatever issues you have in life. I think this is just a great safe space for Chris to be like, you know what, fuck these niggas, man, and really not have any kind of backlash because he has no one else to talk to. Everybody he would say this stuff to is the one he's saying fuck you to. So yeah, it's just fascinating. But it also puts the line of where is Chris right now? How close is Chris to cracking? Like we've been dancing around this shit damn near all of season 6, and now it's finally coming to a head. Like the tension is too thick for us to not talk about it and really be about it. They address it at the barbecue. It's spilling over now. Y'all playing with me. Y'all playing with my family now. Like y'all ain't got no respect for me. What the fuck is going on, man? Hopefully it don't lead to that, but we'll see.
That's a good observation. I agree. We get to see Chris in this session. It ain't therapy, but to Mo's point, it is kind of like therapy for him because he's not going to take the step that Tony takes to have actual real therapy. So I get to go here and say stuff that I usually wouldn't say where nobody knows me, and I can get this venting session off, and it kind of helps feed me egotistically as well. Like nobody here is judging me. They think I'm in the same boat as them, not knowing that I'm a fucking lifetime career criminal. Like I'm speaking from a place of these things that you guys are getting away with as civilians. It's cool for you to come in here and bitch about them because you're civilians. Me coming in this AA meeting to bitch about these things it don't really make sense because I've signed up for a life of crime. I don't really give a fuck if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, bro. It don't matter. You're in a life of crime. It's unfortunate. It ain't the way that we should look at it, but that's the way that it is. And if they knew that he was a criminal, they wouldn't give a fuck about what he was saying. They would judge him as such. But he's able to go in here and say, "Oh, I'm a salesman and my boss and these things," and that helps him feel normal. Just like therapy helps Tony feel normal.
I got fucking bodies, man. You know how fucking crazy that
Like,
is. Nigga,
nigga,
I've killed
I've
people.
killed
I've
people.
killed people, and I'm sitting here chilling, talking to y'all like ain't nothing happened. Like I laid bodies down.
I'm in here trying to relate to normal, everyday, tax-paying citizens. It's
They
just
only
like
relate on
the,
one
the
aspect
same
of the
the
drugs.
same
Alcohol.
mask that Tony has on is the same mask that Christopher has on.
Yep. The more
Like, yeah,
things are different,
Melfi
the more they're
may
the same.
yeah, Melfi may know a little bit about what he does and she has his idea, but she still is looking at him as this patient that I could treat. Same thing with Tony, or excuse me, same thing with Christopher in AA. Like we know you're a drug addict, alcoholic, okay, cool, but there's still a normal person there that we could treat. But no, he's not a normal person. This dude is a fucking killer, dude.
Yeah,
And
murderer.
I love how he described Tony too. He'll pour
Yeah,
you a drink with one hand. He'll pour you a drink with one hand
it
and
was
judge
great.
you on the other if you take it. Like that's exactly
It
who
was
Tony
great.
is. Like there's
Facts.
no winning. Like not deflating that is, but I know there'll never be something where I make a point to the fact where that man say, you know what, you're right, I'm wrong. That'll never happen.
I know
And I
people
think
like
Chris is
that.
coming to realize that.
I know people like that. Tony and AJ are in the theater room. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but when AJ is flipping through the channels, there's a brief moment where you hear a bear. Now, if y'all ain't hear it, y'all should watch it back. Right before Tony is walking in. This ties back into the season 5 concept that I spoke to when I was. And again, this stuff that I'm talking about, I don't really research. Like I don't look at other people's theory. I really don't do it. I just kind of I've been gathering this stuff based on my own experience watching it or whatever, taking notes. But like I remember I told you Tony is the bear, but I don't know what the bear represents. In season 5, we've seen it when Tony was around, the bear wasn't. When the bear was around, Tony wasn't. And then we hear right here when AJ's flipping through, we hear the sound of a bear and Tony walks through the door. So I don't know exactly what that means. I thought I was interested in it. Tony tells AJ, "You're going to the party." And again, the only thing I want to say is just AJ. This is the most normal we've seen AJ, and I wish they would have wrote him more like this the whole series.
Yeah, it would have been better.
Yep.
I love Tony's, like, he's not gonna be dad of the year. We know that. We know Tony Soprano. We know who he is. But I still appreciate his effort, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I still appreciate him going out here, sitting with him, talking, making sure that they invite him to the party, like just all of the stuff that he's doing to ensure that I know I haven't been the best dad, but bro, I'm still a entity that you can like capitalize off of. Like, stop sitting here acting like you don't got shit, bro. Like, we got this house, I have this name that I've built. Like, stop sitting here acting like that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
I could understand how as a father that would be crushing to him, and the approach that he's taking, like, bro, let me just spend some time with him. Not the time that I would have spent, like I said when I was talking about earlier, taking him out, doing all these different things, but just in Tony's world, he's feeling like I'm really, really making an effort. I'm having conversations with you that I ain't never had. I'm introducing you to people, making sure they call you for parties. Like, all of that stuff matters in this relationship, and it was a really good, because we never seen this side of Tony.
Yeah.
I'm like you, Mo, when you have the sentimental feelings about the family and all this. Like, we've never seen this dad side of Tony through all the 6 seasons of this. This is the first time we've seen this.
Yeah. It's
And
real effort.
yeah, he's really putting forth effort to make sure his son is okay. And I think it was a dope way that they portrayed it.
Yeah. We see little Paulie. He finesses for the drills again. We get AJ in therapy.
Let Paulie get over on you is crazy to me. I'm sorry.
I'm
man.
shooting with
Paulie's
Paulie.
crazy.
I ain't gonna
Yeah,
hold
but I
you.
mean, like you said, the guy was 95, so it's like, all right.
I'm shooting with Paulie. I would have shot him in the alley. I ain't gonna hold you. Bro, you get me fucked up.
That's a good finesse, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Even if he was all right, I know I was joking and said to do 95. Even if he wasn't 95, that was a good play.
Yeah, no, it was. I liked it. I liked the sauce. I liked the sauce and how he was, going about it. Only thing about the AJ therapy session I want to say is just this concept being weaved between Tony, Chris, and AJ of therapy. AJ's in therapy, Tony's in therapy, Chris is in AA, which is serving as a form of therapy. But yeah,
I think the therapy session was good. Him prescribing him the drugs, actually admitting to what Chris and Tony were talking about at the grill. It's not really a sickness. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I feel this way. I love that the therapist asked him these very pointed questions and was like, no, you need antidepressants.
yeah,
And even AJ acknowledging, like, yeah, this is normal amongst my age groups. I have friends that take this.
yeah.
All of that was great. It was a very short scene, very
Now,
to the
Mafia
point.
dads.
Exactly. Very short scene, very to the point, but it was very pungent in the sense of, yeah, like this is what he needs.
Yeah.
So
He needed that a lot.
facts.
A few more scenes. AJ's at the party with the guys. Chris breaks up a card game and throws little Paulie out the window.
Hold on, we gotta stop on that. Yeah, the
Yeah, you can't
AJ
gloss
trying to
over
get
that.
him.
I'm just
AJ,
laying, no, I'm just gonna lay it out and then we can react to those three scenes just because time constraints or whatever. So, like I said, AJ's at a party. Chris breaks up a card game and throws little Paulie out the window. And Carmela snaps on Tony about AJ going to a strip club, or obviously that party that we just spoke about, and being underage, even though he's 2 months away. And he tells her that this is the way to get him back into college. So between those three scenes at the party with AJ, Chris throwing Paulie through the window, and Carmela's bickering at Tony in the morning and having to change her heart. What you got?
Definition of like I promise you. Like, remember what Chris said about Jackie Jr.? If I find him, I'm doing him tonight. That was Chris's mindset because I understand once again. We all know we've seen enough examples of, hey, you were made man. Is little Paulie made? Do we know that for sure?
No, I don't
We know he's not. We talked about this.
Right, that actually makes a lot more sense as to his reaction to it,
yeah.
And why Paulie wasn't ready to just jump on him, and it was more just so words. Chris walked in that motherfucker, no questions asked, whooped his ass, and for good measure, since y'all want to keep playing on me, y'all think I'm pussy, y'all think I'm sweet, bet. I'll toss your ass out this window, and I guarantee anybody to say some shit to me. Before I even have a chance to get mad, I'm out this bitch. I came to do what I had to do when I'm out. Stop fucking playing with me. Right? You can't be mad at Chris, man. Did he go OD? Sure, but as my nigga Chaz always says, when you feel disrespected, act accordingly. Can't nobody tell you how to react to your disrespect. Nigga, y'all playing with me, I'm pushing you out this window. I guarantee nobody fuck with me again.
Push you out this
and
window.
that's on you. It ain't on me. Like, that's on you. You went and done the stupid shit to make me push you out the window. Like, you knew who I was. You knew what had. Well, like, I don't give a fuck what kind of situation you and Paulie had going on where he told you to go do this and that's your OG. I don't care, bro. You knew what would happen if I was pissed off about this and I came to see you about it. I don't give a fuck about none of that. So yeah, this was another great scene.
Hey,
to everything
one of them,
Rich
just one of them reminders, man. Not everybody playing.
Yeah,
don't expect everybody to react to situations
bro.
like you. Paulie might have been like, "Hey man, it ain't that deep. I'll come and talk to you."
It is.
Not everybody gonna
deep,
react that way.
Nope.
To me, it is that deep. This is me talking to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is me talking to you. It could have been where I could have killed you.
Actually, this ain't even me talking to you. There's no conversation to be had. This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no talking, my nigga. I'm gonna do you. I'm gonna do you this.
I'm gonna leave you where I find you.
You now go deal with your OG who you thought it was cool to do this for.
Yeah.
Go talk to him.
Yeah.
Go talk to
man.
him.
That's the only thing that would make this shit even more fire, man. That Chris nigga said, call Paulie, tell that nigga go pick this nigga up.
Yeah, go get this nigga.
Peel that nigga off the ground, nigga.
You sent them over there. Now this is what happened to him for this.
Mm-hmm. I'll leave you where I find you, my nigga. I promise.
Facts. I felt Chris in this.
No, I did feel Chris. Like, bro, I let y'all slide the first time, but like, come on.
I'm not playing with y'all, bro.
But yeah, Chris.
Real quick, I'm sorry.
No,
it goes to him not being around too.
Yep.
Chris was more around. He wouldn't have done this. He would have had a conversation with Lil Paulie. He would have figured out what was going on. He would have talked to Tony. But this is me reacting off emotion from not being around, not actually being tied in to the crew, and this is how I react. So great scene and great writing by them.
Yeah, I didn't acknowledge that Chris had talked to the guy that spoke in AA as well, like kind of sharing his story a little bit about Tony, but he brings up Adriana again, and he said, but he sided with Tony, just in that little part in the hallway stairs. I just think that I'll speak to it later. There's a scene with JT that ties perfectly into that. But as far as the ones that we acknowledged, just Carmella snapping on Tony, but then she started to realize like Tony might know. Did you ever think I might know what I'm doing? I guess she finally got the point this episode.
I would have been irritated because I don't feel like that you got to come wake me up in the morning
she was
to get
doing
my
the
point.
most like, bro, I'm the breadwinner.
Like, bro,
Relax.
let me do
you feel
what
like
I
you
do.
could do that
Like, why
because you
the
feel like
fuck
you
are
in
you in
real
here?
estate now. Like
Great point, Mo. I
you
meant
feel
to
like you're in
bring
real
this up
estate now.
throughout the
Now I can
episode.
start. Yeah,
He trying to throw that around. She even threw that around when she called him and said, "I need you to come home because I gotta go meet." Man, I don't give a fuck about who you gotta go meet. Man,
we
that
could have
little shit
made
don't
more
mean that.
money
Man, that don't
off of
mean
your
nothing to me.
bullshit. Like that, he looked
Yeah,
at it as
that don't mean
bullshit.
nothing to me. Who you gotta go meet? I don't give a fuck about you having clothes on and like looking good. Like, man, fuck all that. And don't come waking me up in the middle of like when I'm asleep and talking
Opening
about what I
blinds.
should have did. Yeah, like stop. It goes. It's great writing, and for us as viewers watching it, it shows too as Tony never wanted her to have this shit because he knew how she would act. I know you. Just like we was talking about with Carmella knowing Tony, he know her.
Yeah,
Like I knew what this was gonna do, and like now I'm in these. Like, I'm stressed out. I not only do I have to deal with Chris, and I gotta deal with fucking Paulie. I gotta deal with you, thinking like you being the boss bitch out here and doing this little spec house and shit. Like, man, get out of my face.
yeah.
So yeah, great shit.
Carmella, I already book your shit. Your house will be
I'll
gone.
burn that whole shit down, bro.
Stop playing with me, man.
Fuck
And
about none of
and
that.
and the insurance in my name. I'm collecting that check,
let
and I dare
let
you to
me
ask for
sleep.
half.
Let me sleep.
Dang.
Fuck out of here.
um.
And you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you really don't like you like.
And you don't know what you're talking about. Like to top all that, I understand your concern, but you don't know what you're talking about. I'm the man. Let me deal with this.
Yeah. A couple more scenes to tie together. Chris tells Tony about throwing little Paulie out the window, and Paulie is jacking up Chris's yard. Chris calls Tony about the yard and says he's going to chill. And Tony and Carmella are happy AJ isn't home because he was staying at the guy's house the previous night. What do y'all want to talk about in regards to those three scenes?
I think Paulie pulling up Trash's yard that's one of my favorite scenes of this whole series. Like I I know I can't put my hands on you because you're a made man and there's this understanding we have. What I'm going to do because you pissed me off, you pissed my nephew or whatever. I don't even know who Lil Paulie is. So Paulie, who is that? That's his nephew.
Yeah, that's his nephew.
Yeah,
I'm sure once
because you
removed, whatever the case is. Yeah,
because you pushed my nephew out the window. I'm gonna ride up in your yard. I'm gonna do donuts, white spoken, all of this shit. I know what's gonna hurt you because I don't even know if Paulie was invited, but I know you just got the crib. This is what I'm gonna do to piss you off. I have that tact still in me as an original OG to I ain't gotta pull up and hit you in your mouth. I ain't gotta do no crazy shit. I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna dog it in your yard, $40,000 worth of landscaping, and make you figure that shit out. And you go talk to Tony about it. This was great. This is one of my most memorable scenes of this show.
incredible. You said you nailed everything. I don't want to belabor the point, but that was incredible. Nothing like seeing Paulie bend that corner, and you knew he had no good intent. And when we say he destroyed that yard, I don't even know what Sal Vitro can do with that shit. Like he
Hey,
destroyed that joint. And like you said, beating you up and doing whatever, pushing Paulie out the window, that's one thing, right? But this is a whole different type of level of petty. This is my type of shit I'm talking about right here.
And that's Paulie's nephew
It's
though. Like that's my family
Yeah,
now.
and once again, I
nah,
said
it's
it at the
different,
beginning. I
bro.
said it at the beginning. I said it at the beginning. I see everybody's
Right.
point of
Oh,
view
okay.
because
Right.
from Paulie's standpoint, nigga, you push my nigga out the window, bro. I should put hands on you, but I ain't even gonna do that. I'm
That's
showing
crazy.
restraint.
You lucky I don't kill you.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's my nephew. He could have died because you were mad about some drills, bro.
It wasn't even that deep. And had you been
On some
around,
shit
you
that I
realize.
said that I was going to take care of.
Yeah,
Stop playing with me.
bro.
But in the sense of what like I get in the other sense of what Christopher was saying, like stop playing with me. Like this is my father-in-law, bro.
Yeah, off
So I
limits.
said, man,
Stop
goes
pulling
both.
up, trying to get over on this nigga just because we got this little thing that we making money from about it. Like, don't do that.
Chris and Paulie are looking at each other and they both saying you wanted to be one way.
But it ain't the other way.
Both these niggas staring at each other
Other
and both
way,
saying
nigga.
you wanted to be the one way, and they both at the same time saying, but it's the other way. We gonna see how far we take this shit.
And Paulie pulled out
And
of there so
even
smooth. Like once he did all the
and
damage, he just got out of there smooth.
the conversation that Chris and Tony are having while this is happening, where Tony is trying to understand, like, bro, why you so mad? And again, it goes to what we've been saying this entire episode of him not being around. And Chris being like, well, a phone call, like, oh, okay, so we're gonna talk about interstate trafficking on the phone now? Like, bro, where are you? You're not
Face to
here
face
with
with
us. What the fuck is going on with you? Yeah, nigga, this is gonna happen to somebody, a OG like Paulie. You guys are going to have a altercation, and he gonna go fuck up your yard, bro. That's what happens when you over here in Buck fucking 2 and not hanging with the guys. So really great how they were going back and forth between them talking and Paulie doing it. Like this amazing writing and screenplay in this episode.
And this
That was
scene, like,
great. It's,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Tony reiterated everything we said, man. Had you been around, this could have been handled differently. All of that shit, bro. Like this isn't even that deep. You talking about this could have been done on a phone call, like Spike just said, bro. Like this is, I ain't trying to hear none of that. And I told you to wait outside, and you left to go do God knows what, bro. All of this is on you. You want everything to stop at the drop of a dime because you mad about it. Give a fuck if you in the mood. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. We get let's see, Carmela, Chris. Okay.
To the scene where Chris called Tony and told him what he did to his yard.
Yeah, but yeah, Chris kind of keeps it chill, but this is a very interesting because what we know is gonna come next. It's like the world was spinning around Chris the way they did the camera, and it's like really spiraling, and it's like, damn, he tried. That was his last like hoorah on like
when he was talking in the yard.
Yeah, like his hoorah was like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything, he's because I feel like he still was trying his best to still like appease to Tony being the boss. But anyway, we get AJ and the guys are drinking and they decide to go to a party last minute. Chris is drunk at the Bing. I'm gonna leave those two together because I ain't about to bring up nothing else until we get to those two. But well, actually, I think we got what? We got a couple more scenes after that, but I don't really care. If y'all want to react to AJ with the guys, y'all can. I don't care nothing about it because it doesn't. Spoiler alert! It doesn't. It doesn't produce anything. So,
are you skipping over the when Chris and Paulie talk
at when they were drinking and stuff?
at the main? Yeah.
That was my second part of it. So that's why I stopped there. I want to see.
Okay.
Which I thought.
I ain't got nothing.
Okay. Well, for me, just Chris. I don't know if they were at the Bing or it looked like they're at the VIP section of the Bing.
Yeah, back room.
Okay, so Chris is sharing the beauty of having a daughter, and Paulie Paulie jokes, and his joke was a knockout right away. And Chris doesn't understand. Paulie he's good. Even being old school, he's fired.
I got a question for you, Mo. After you finish laying it out, I got a question for you.
All right. But Chris doesn't understand, and Paulie's saying, of course, one of the jokes is, if she's anything like you, she'll still be in the 4th grade. but by that point should be working here. So who gives a shit? Oh man, like
Let
and
me
then
ask you. Can I ask you real quick, Mo?
uh-huh.
As a father of a daughter, is that off limits? Don't play with me like that. Don't joke about my daughter like that. I don't play like that. How do you take that?
I mean, the thing is, he's in the mafia, so you haven't established that. You ain't established it. You ain't around. This is the whole concept of this episode.
So if that's said to you, do you feel away, or are you just taking that on the chin like, this is part of it? This is cost of doing business.
I mean, yeah, you just gotta, you gotta take it in stride, bro. Like it's like
in this world,
in
right?
this world, like it's like if we're
Yeah,
talking civilian,
Mm-hmm.
it's like yeah, bro. But again, you ain't established that. Like you never established these things. Like Chris ran off when Tony Blundetto and Tony were laughing at him. He ran off then. It's like, but you're not standing up and walking like a man. So here we are. Like now we get
and
I might have slapped the shit. I might have slapped the shit out of Benny, bro. Ain't shit that funny.
Yeah. That Benny's definitely the. I know you ain't laughing. Like Benny's the person in that list when you look around.
Yeah, man. What call Artie? Where Artie at?
Hey, yeah.
Man,
hey,
Artie, didn't Artie fuck you up? Yeah,
Artie.
stop playing with me, bro. Yeah.
Like, hey, it's one of those things. Like you laughing kind of hard, ain't you, bro? Like,
and you was the one calling the ambulance when I pushed your man's out the window, bro. Don't let that shit happen to you.
His knee. He slapped his knee and everything.
Yeah, the nigga's getting weak, bro.
Yeah.
It's really well done from a show perspective, because this is him looking at this from a perspective of, we talked about him having clarity on the grill because he was sober, because he was in the space that he was in. Now he decides to have a drink and he's looking at these people like who they really are. Mm-hmm. Alcohol lowers your inhibitions. Mm-hmm. Alcohol is a thing that without this, I wouldn't be this relaxed. I wouldn't be this observant. I wouldn't be this old person that you think that I am when I'm drinking versus when I'm not drinking. So we show that him having a drink and just even trying to process a joke, it's worse. It's not better. It's worse for him. I thought that was really interesting.
Now again, I do think Chris is overly sensitive. You know, these are jokes, and
alcohol had a lot to do with it, though.
Of course, alcohol has a lot to do with it, but if they were joking on his sobriety, I feel like I would see, like when he had that moment, he's like, oh, I didn't know me, my sobriety bothered you. Like when he had that moment, like, oh, no. But have a freaking drink, with Tony.
I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I gotta say something about you talking about my daughter about to be a stripper, bro. I'm sorry, man. I don't know. I know the business we in.
But do you?
I know, you're right.
Like,
you're right.
Lit, and this is what we do. We break balls. Like, do you?
In this setting, you are right.
And you really one of the niggas?
In this setting, you're absolutely right. I'm looking at this from a dude that's just sitting here. I ain't even got kids. You know what I'm saying? I said it earlier in the same episode, right? I just said it. Plenty of niggas talk about what they would do, and then in the situation, don't do shit. You're absolutely right. In this setting, it makes sense. I get it. But it's just something about it just makes me feel like, man, we cool, but I don't know. Yeah. But you gotta take it. It ain't that deep. It really ain't that deep. You gotta take it.
It's one of those things where you just gotta jab them back really nice. Where you like, hey, at least I got a kid that could take care of me. Who's gonna take care of you in a nursing home?
Y'all have seen this. Y'all seen this before. We've all been to college. We've all had friend groups. The nigga who has to storm out because the jokes are getting too y'all look at him like he's a weirdo.
The minute
your mom just left,
like, bro.
You know good and damn well your mama wasn't here.
Now when the dude say you can't whoop me though. What I'm saying. Here we go.
Exactly.
Now so we move to something else.
All of us have been in these situations. To Chris, I can't
whoop it, but I'm still rank your ass. Why you taking it so
serious, bro? Like why all of a sudden did it take that turn where you feel like it's something different from us joking? Mm-hmm. And that's what he did.
Again, it's you too civilian for the mob, you too mob for the civilians. This is Chris. This is the plight of Chris. This is the issue.
Speaking of.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, they're all kind of focused in on Chris because he's the life of the party, kind of like at this moment. He just ain't taking it well, and again, like Rick said, I can understand his plight. It's like I don't even drink with y'all. And there was a small glimpse that Paulie really showed he cared. I feel like just as the guy. I think he always Chris will always have a special place in Paulie's heart because he does the small things like, hey, give him a club soda. You know, he meant it. Like I heard what you said when we talked last. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, me too. And he got him a club soda. And he looked, and there was a small moment you see Chris look, eyes get big. He's like, wow, he really does care about me. He's like, you know what? Let me have a drink with him. And then, of course, obviously, it got carried away. But you got to imagine, I'm coming here, bro. I don't even drink. I ain't been around. I want to be around you guys. I'm just sharing my moments of like just being happy to be a father. I know I'm drunk and slapped. And then all of a sudden, y'all dogging me and everybody's laughing at me like y'all set me up. You know what I mean? Even though that's not what it was, but that's how you feel. Bro. Y'all set me up. I'm the laughing joke again. You know. So, but anyway, because remember he had that sense. You know, when Tony B and Tony, when he talked about when he was a kid, y'all tied him up to a tree and left him there for hours. So he really had this. Really is a thing for him. But anyway,
it's a good point.
Last few scenes here. Chris, I'm just gonna lay it out and we'll react. Chris visits JT and expresses some feelings. And Tony sees AJ pull up full speed, grabs the strap, and see that everything was all right. Chris comes home and fixes the plant, and that was down, and then he goes into the house. So between those last three scenes, I don't feel like one is really worth reacting to. It really is the
JT. Let's talk about it. Hey, first of all, let me ask both of y'all this right now. How do I want to word this? Were you surprised by JT's reaction to the whole thing? Or do you think that JT lacks some awareness that he didn't read the room, that Chris is a little bit like you talking a little bit too greasy? Obviously, obviously, if I'm JT, I'm not expecting this nigga to pull out the strap and shoot me straight in the head. That was a hell of a shot too. Not trying to be funny, but
I do this.
Yeah, Chris got up shit. That nigga was lit. But he was just kind of talking beside, like, bro, you know who I am? You know some of the shit? Like, nigga, I went in front of your class and cracked a laptop over your head, bro. Like, who are you talking to?
Bro, I hit you last time with your own trophy.
Yeah, like, I don't understand, like, his...
Like,
yeah, you would think that there'd be a little bit more caution on how you speak to me. I don't know. Were y'all surprised by it at all? Like JT's reaction. I understand the frustration. Of like, look, I'm sick of this. I'm done with it. I got this deadline, but I also know I'm standing next to a stone cold killer. Remember we said in that AA meeting, this nigga's got bodies.
Yeah, I don't think JT was really observant enough to know like this could happen to you. And I really love how it escalated so quickly in the sense of Chris putting out the strap and popping him in the head. Like, bro, like, I don't like all this writer shit and Emmy, all this shit you talking about, bro. I don't give a fuck. I will kill you right here tonight, today. It do not fucking matter to me. JT never realized that in dealing with Chris, and I love how they wrote this in the sense of, okay, this is it coming to the ultimate permanation of, oh yeah, I'll kill you. Like you don't mean anything to the storyline.
You stop being useless.
You don't mean anything to the show. You don't mean anything to nothing. Like I can erase you right now. And I do think that the writers and the showrunners did a great enough job as far as introducing JT as a semi-important character because of what he did with Cleaver and his relationship with Chris and being a sponsor. But I can kill you right now. This is the Game of Thrones thing. Ned Stark. Like I'm going to kill a main character,
Ned
and
Stark.
we wasn't expecting this. And it was insane how Chris did it, but it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Imagine how freaked out. Do y'all remember first time watching this? I'm like, oh shit, this over.
Facts.
And imagine how freaked out us, anybody out here listening, imagine how freaked out you'd be if you dropped the body. You'd be so paranoid. This nigga Chris dropped that nigga and left him. Like, fuck you. I'm about to go about my regular night and my regular day. I have zero thought about
don't
this
even
niggas knocking on my door.
matter to me.
Nothing. This is another day.
This is Joffrey killing Ned Stark.
Yeah, it's another day, man. This ain't got shit to do with me.
Yeah, a little surprised. I'm not really surprised by JT's action. I just think he just fed up. It's like, bro, I didn't took so much from you. Like, he probably paid his debt finally and everything and stuff.
And I also think it's a little bit of where Chris was self-awareness. Like, I know I said enough.
Yep,
I bet now I gotta kill you. Now I got it off.
Yeah, it ain't reversible.
Yeah.
You know too much now.
Yeah. And JT was like, bro, you telling me too much. Now you make me an accomplice. Like, he was like, hey, man, I'm telling you, like, bro, go to the meeting. But, like, bro, like, JT was like, bro, I don't care about what you're talking about. And, you know, Chris is saying some really indictful things. It's like, you know what? Grownups out in Arizona. I wouldn't mind being out there. So, again, we got a deep theory that's coming up here.
And the good thing with this, too, is no matter how long I've been away, I still know how this shit goes. And I know I said too much. And there's no way that I can walk out of here. Yeah, I know I said too much. There's no way I can walk out of here and let you live. It's impossible. I have to kill you.
Yeah.
Fire.
But I do always hate the JT got whacked. I always did. Like,
Fuck
I always
JT.
I don't like him, but I still wish it was like, bro, like, just we never seen him. But like getting whacked
Pretentious.
on, like,
He's a pretentious asshole.
but he deserved to die though. Like,
He did.
He didn't. He you know what I mean? He
probably
paid.
Why did he deserve to live?
Hey man, come on, man. We ain't about to do this. Man. Come on. We ain't about to,
Spike is trolling. All right.
I ain't even trolling though. Like,
trolling.
Fuck
he
him.
Definitely
Fuck
trolling
him.
why he deserved to live. Like, cause you don't like him, he
deserve
need
to
to
live.
die. Like, bro, you stop playing video games, nigga.
That nigga said that shit with the dead serious, but why did he deserve
this
to
nigga
live?
play Grand Theft Auto too much, nigga. Get off the games. Put the sticks down, bro.
Shoot that nigga.
Hey, Spike wanted the real answer.
All right, this nigga. And pretty much,
funny.
And pretty much, y'all, that is our episode. I think that's a great place to land. I ain't about to get into no deep meaning of Chris putting the tree back up, and who cares? That's all big
Tony about to pull the shotty out on AJ. Tony paranoid, man.
I mean, should be. He should be.
These people could come in any minute.
That goes to being in at the end of things.
In at the end, it's like, bro, any day now. Like, the driveway is not.
You think people pulling up to the driveway to kill you, bro? You pulling out the shotgun? That's crazy.
Yeah.
At the crib?
You never know though.
No,
that is our episode, man. Walk Like a Man, season 6B. We're gonna keep lining up that way. Season 6B, episode 17. Without further ado, Spike Lou, how do you rank this episode?
Made episode.
Yep. What say you, Rich?
You know it.
I shouldn't even ask you because you already made up in your mind. Well, I'll ask anyway. You
can still ask me because conversation that we have throughout the episode might change my mind on things. But yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
It's a made episode.
Yeah, it's trips for me. It's made as well. Spike Lou, who gets the good earner chain for this episode.
Good earner chain for this episode goes to, I'm gonna say Dr. Melfi, man. Trying to really navigate what Tony was going through, how he was feeling, wanting to end therapy, however, still able to offer him some advice was really good. Like, this shows how good she is at her job. This shows like this ain't a TV show where some mobster is talking to some regulars. Like she's a beast.
She is a beast.
Yeah.
All right, Rich, who gets the good earner chain?
I want to give it to Tony for showing up for AJ. Like, I know he's not dad of the year, like Spike said earlier, but man, he really showed up for AJ when it was needed in a way that he wouldn't normally want to. You know that there was a moment when he walked in his room where he kind of grabbed his wrist, pulled him up. He wanted to give him that tough love, man. Stop bitching, man. Put your shoulders, stick your chest out, put your shoulders back. Yeah. But he sat with him. He was there for him. He listened to him. He got people involved in his life. Like, hey, man, like, y'all should call AJ. Y'all should get involved. We saw that it worked. AJ was out. AJ stayed over the night. AJ started to be around women. He started smiling more. He partook in some criminal activity. Nigga burning a nigga foot off. Like, you know what I mean? At least he was seeming back to normal. And I think Tony had a lot to do with that because he was like, man, I might not know all the answers, and I don't know how to be like the Cusimano father type of version. But I can tell you, for me and where I come from, and what my dad and what my mom did to me, this is the best version that you can think of.
Yeah.
For Tony, so I got to give it to Tony, man. He really helped AJ out this slump.
No, that's probably the right pick, but I'm going Paulie Walnuts, man. Paulie Walnuts had him crazy jokes. It was ridiculous. Them jokes were so excellent to this day. And of course, getting his money off, doing the racket thing, and he could joke and laugh, but at the same time, man, look, listen, if you want that money back, you can suck it at my ass, nigga. Get up out of my crib, bro. And even Tony, I didn't get to say, but Tony told him, nigga, hey man, go back and go get you a Beyond Impossible beer or something to get up out my face, nigga.
Yeah, whatever the fuck you drinking these days, man, get up out of here.
Yeah, get up out of here.
That's
but
great.
Anyway, Paulie Walnuts, man, good earner award for me. Who gets a broken balls for you, Spike?
Christopher's father-in-law. Is that the correct title?
Yeah, Kelly's dad.
Yeah, his father-in-law.
Kelly's dad, like, yeah. You got shucked. You thought you was gonna get, I got these power tools I can sell to these cops, but no, bro, it's more that comes with it than this. And you experience the more that comes with it.
What say you, Rich?
It's my fault your father-in-law's a crybaby.
Thanks.
Who gets a broken balls? Same?
Oh shit, my fault. I'm tripping,
Same
bro.
Same person.
That
was my quote, man. I'm getting shit mixed up. All right, broken balls would go to Little Paulie's too easy. Man, it's gotta my nigga that got his foot fucking burnt off over a fucking probably a $30 gambling debt, man. I don't know how much he owed that man, but damn, bro. I hope I don't never do nothing where a nigga say, you know what? Let's take this nigga foot away from
for acid on it.
Yeah, man, come on, man. And I'm being held down, man. Like, once again, this is not, I'd rather get a beating. Okay. He ain't wake up that day thinking they was gonna do that. He knew it was gonna be some shit. Shout out to, man, not shout out to her, but this nigga she called him just to let him know, old boy over here. Say less. Say less. Yeah, my man, that's fucked up, bro. You don't wake up in the morning and expect your night to end with your foot being fucking having a hole in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just some college niggas too.
I gotta go AJ.
I can't give it to him, man, because he depressed.
He depressed, but like when he pulled up on Blanca, that's where I like, okay, you definitely got a broken balls, because that was crazy. He walked off crying with the shoulders up.
Walking off crying from a construction site is crazy.
With the shoulders up though. Anyway, all right. Favorite quote of the episode, Spike Lou.
My putrid genes being spread to my offspring, or whatever it was
my
he said.
But has affected my son's soul, or something like that.
That's it for me.
My putrid gene. And Rich, you already said, is it my fault your father-in-law is a crybaby? I had a few options, but I'm just gonna keep it simple like this. Christopher, you're in the mafia. That's it. That is single-handedly the thing that Chris wanted the most. Now is the thing that he almost doesn't want. Why be in the crew? Why be a gangster? Season 1. Now we're at this point, and we get that. So, Chris, you're in the mafia. That's why I was getting from what I was talking about. 2 mob for the civilians, 2 civilians for the mob. And lastly, your favorite moment of the episode, Spike Lou.
Favorite moment of the episode when Chris was on the grill talking about where he was right now as a man. Tony kind of challenging him, and us seeing that dynamic change.
Excellent. What about you, Rich?
It's the Melfi scene. Tony and Melfi.
That's really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's the only session.
Ton of great moments in this episode. A lot to choose from.
It is.
Facts.
As you know, even though the they were being silly, I'm gonna go with the Chris and Paulie, making up. Even though I know it ended up going out the wrong way or whatever, but there's just some moments like they apologize and they always do this with each other. So
Forget about it, kid.
yeah, I love it. Like every time I'm like, man, shout out to Paulie. That's closest thing to a kid he knows. And that is our episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. Truly, if y'all want to reach out again, goodearnerpod@gmail.com. All of the information in the description. If y'all want to hear some other podcasts, y'all can look in the description, YouTube, as well as all your podcast sites, man. Truly, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this thing we call Good Earners. But in the meantime, in between time, remember, don't forget about it.